All right, thank you po. And I hope that I'm coming to you live and clear from my home. Diba?
Basta pogi ang registration, okay na okay yan.
Yan, diba? So, my sharing with the today, there's not too many people in this room, so we're more relaxed. Kahit po pinagsuot kami ni Bob.
Actually, classmate, mas marami tayo dito. Sa TRF, they have 25 audience. We're 39.
Okay. So my sharing with you today is about club administration and the internal workings of your club. Most of you already know what club administration is, what administration is all about. We're not here to tell you what to do. No, we're here just to give you some tips or some of the things that you probably would want to know, okay, about club administration. Before we start club administration, let's talk about the parts of the human body. Diba? Sabi ng mga Rotarians, mukhang mali yata yung pinasukan ko na breakout room kasi anatomy 101 yung kasasabihin ni Rotarian Anton, right? No. You know, the parts of the human body, you can look at it like Rotary. They all work hand in hand. Okay? So, most of the time, this is what most Rotarians feel. What they feel is that the committees within their clubs all overlap. No? Nag-overlap yung mga committees. Nag-overlap yung mga task. No? So if I can ask my classmate to give me one clap, diba? At the count of 3, classmate Laura, give me one clap. At the clap, I will count 1, 2, 3. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, clap. Uy, na-delay ka kasi classmate. Kaya tingnan mo, baliktad yung Diba? Oh, delayed ka kasi. Kaya baliktad yung parts of the human body. Diba?
Baliktad nga.
Oh, so again, classmate 1, 2, 3, clap. Oh, yung okay na po. Tama yun po. Kaya tama na ngayon yung di ba? Po kayo kasi this is such an unholy hour. So, in reality, just like the part of the human body, the committees inside your club, the members, the board, the officers, the chair, everyone, they have to work in sync. They have to work together. Okay? So, let's take a look at your brain. Okay? I see the brain as your board of directors, your president, and your officers. Okay? Sila yung nag-isip ng lahat, right? They're the ones who think about the things, think about the programs, think about the plans, the goals of the club, and then they lay it down on a silver platter for everyone to start shooting. Diba? So kawawa naman yung brain. Diba? Sila yung think tank. Okay? Now let's go to the eyes and ears. Okay? The eyes and ears, I see it as public image. Why? Don't forget what Governor Castillo shared earlier, okay, about public image. What people see and what people hear about your club is the impression that they will get of what Rotary is all about. So it's very important, right? Next, your hands. Hand. O guess nyo kaya, ano kaya yung hands? Para saan kaya yun? Diba? What do you think are the hands for? To me, it's
The members.
the Rotary Foundation, classmate. You know why? Because you need your hands to dig deep, very deep, into your pockets. But have no fear. As Governor June Parcon also said earlier, the Rotary Foundation for the last 13 years has received 4 out of 4 stars, one of the most trusted foundations in the world. Pero, hey, let's just call a spade a spade. Saan kayo nakakita ng foundation na piso yung binigay mo, yung bumalik sa yung 100? Right? So, the reason why we are in Rotary is because we want to be able to help others. But more importantly, I want my 1 peso to go much further. Kasi kung mag-isa lang ako and then I give my 1 peso, it's 1 peso worth of goods and services. In Rotary, my 1 peso becomes 50, becomes 100 pesos. And such is the beauty of the Rotary Foundation. Your feet. Para saan kaya? Siyempre, to get you from point A to point B. Right? Oh. Next, how will you get to your service projects if you don't have your feet? Right? Oh, sige, lumipad ka. Sabi nilang ganun. Okay. All right. So, your feet, I look at your feet as service projects. It allows you to go to places. Next one is your mouth and your tongue. Diba? Para saan kaya yun? Mouth and tongue. It's for membership. Why? How can you get a member? How can you find out what the problem is with your member, or how can you invite new prospective members if you don't talk to them? So be careful what you say. Okay? Your mouth and your tongue is whatever comes out of that, okay, is what the other person will hear. Say good things about your club. Advertise your club. Say good things about Rotary. Okay? Next, nose. Ala, question mark yung nose. Bakit kaya? Ewan ko. Bakit ko? No, I'm just kidding. Later, we will go back to the nose. Okay? Later po. And it's also my sign that when I get to the second nose, that means I'm almost done. All right? Okay. Diba? Galing nung preparation, diba? May kodigo. Okay? The heart. It's on the left side po of our body. Okay? The heart. The heart is club administration. Club administration is what brings all of these things together. Club administration works with everyone and all the committees. Kaya nga earlier when I said, there's no overlapping. Okay? Everyone works together. So what exactly is the role and responsibilities of the club administration, for shortcut, of the CA committee? Okay. The role of the CA committee is to conduct activities associated with the effective operation of the club. Diba? I stress on effective operation. Why? Because your clubs need to be effective and efficient in order to deliver the necessary services, the humanitarian services in your community. If you're not rowing in the same direction, you're going to be wasting a lot of resources. Sayang naman, instead na nabigyan mo ng bigas, kung saan-saan pa napunta. Kasi, ang tagal-tagal ninyo, hindi kayo effective, hindi kayo efficient. Okay? Another thing is that, if you effectively and efficiently operate, diba? As past District Governor Onye Reyes said earlier, membership retention. Why do members leave? The number one reason why members leave is they're not interested. And why are they not interested? Walang direction eh. Right? There's no direction. So in order for your club to have direction, you have to be effective and efficient. Not only will you succeed in retaining members, you will also succeed in attracting new members. Okay? Now, the third one. When you operate effectively and efficiently, it will now create leaders in your club. We all need leaders. We cannot all be just followers, waiting for people to tell us, pare, ito gawin mo. Bro, this is what you do. Bro, and so on. Someone has to lead. Okay? When you have an effective and efficient operation in your club, you develop leaders, not only for your club, but also for your district, and perhaps also in the international scene. Remember that not everyone has the initiative to step forward. You have to give them a nice paved road for them to become leaders. Okay? Next, what are the responsibilities of the CA committee? The responsibilities include the following. Committee goals, you have programs, you have bulletin, website, and social media site, you have attendance, and of course, you have fellowship. Let's start with the committee goals. You know, ano na to eh? Yung SMART goals, basang-basa na to eh. Diba? Gas-gas na, as they say. But it's important, you know. Committee goals should always be in line with the club goals. And when you say SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Here's a sample. Okay. If the TRF goal of your club is $10,000, okay, it's $10,000. The goal of the committee should be working on the club goal of $10,000. To make it a SMART goal, okay, to make it a SMART goal, the committee has to be able to determine who will give, how much will they give, when will they give, explain to them why they should give, and when the overall goal will be completed. Diba? You just converted a simple $10,000 goal into a SMART goal. Okay, it's very important. The next one is programs. The CA committee is in charge of making sure that there are programs for your program, diba? Program for your regular meetings and program for your club assemblies. Okay. In order for you to create a great program, okay, you have to have an agenda. Diba? An agenda gives direction. Hindi mawawala, hindi ma-confuse si member, right? Most of the time, if I ask you, how many clubs here present now where you actually have a meeting without an agenda? Diba? Yung bahala na, kung ano na lang ang mapag-usapan. And then you ask yourself at the end of the year, what has our club accomplished? Not much, because you have no direction. The agenda for your regular meetings is very important. You always need to schedule all your activities and your programs in advance. In other words, you need to plan. The responsibility of the CA committee is planning. Okay, you know what they say? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay, next one. Every time you come up with your program, your regular meeting, you have to mention the projects that you have done in the past and the status. Ano na yung status ng projects natin? The members need to know, okay? And they want to know, all right? What are the upcoming activities and also the concerns of your members? Very important that you look at the concerns of your members. No? Most of the time, if you do not address these concerns, they will leave. Aalis po sila. Ganun kasimple lang. Right? I know of some people, okay, that they've been trying to come up with this project, and yet no one cares. So they started shying away from the club. And then no one cared. Kaya mo siya. Diba? Oh, hindi nawalan ka ng miyembro. Hirap ka na nga mag-invite eh. Nawalan ka pa ng miyembro. Right? Okay? Make sure you rotate. You know, one of the things that many clubs do is that during the club meetings, they ask the chairman or the person of a particular committee to report. Bakit? Is it a one-man committee? Do you have a one-man committee? Yung TRF committee nyo ba, iisang tao? Yung service committee nyo ba, iisang tao? Di ba yung service committee? Your service committee is composed of a number of people. So, the chair of that committee does not need to be the one reporting week after week after week. Rotate. Let the other members of that committee do the reporting also. Diba? Bigyan nyo ng importansya. That's your job as the CA committee. Bigyan mo ng importansya ang mga miyembro. Alright? Next. Don't forget the important dates. Okay. When we talk about important dates, we're talking about two things. Okay. One, important dates of Rotary. Okay. Their monthly theme. Okay. And two, important dates of the members of your club. Make sure you try your best to shoot all your programs within these particular themes. July is New Leadership Month. August is Membership and Club Development Month. September, Basic Education and Literacy. October, Economic and Community Development. November, Rotary Foundation Month. Okay. December, Disease Prevention and Treatment. January, you have Vocational Service. February, you have Peace Building and Conflict Prevention. March, you have Water and Sanitation. Okay. April, Maternal and Child Health. May, you have Youth Service. And June, which is the last month of your Rotary year, of our Rotary year, okay, Rotary Fellowships. Okay. And of course, don't forget to celebrate special occasions of the members. Birthday, Mother's Day, Father's Day, special things that perhaps the children have accomplished something. Mention that during their meetings. It's important. They like that. And talagang hiniwalay ko ito. Please, don't ever forget the anniversary of the members with their spouse, because you need to remind them to make sure na good shot kayo. Otherwise, walang safe conduct pass yung member. Diba? You know what we do? What I do? Anniversary ni Gob, for example. Gob, anniversary mo. Huwag mo kalimutan padala ng bulaklak yung misis mo, ha? Ay, huwag nga pala. Oh. Kasi, pag nakalimutan niya, sabihan sa akin ng misis niya, ano ka ba? Rotary ka ng Rotary. Oh, di ba? Oh. So, don't forget anniversaries, ha? Di ba? Very important. Okay? Always have a contingency plan. No? Not all the programs and not all your agenda will happen. You know Murphy's Law, right? If something can go wrong, chances are it's gonna go wrong. Okay? Always have a contingency plan para sigurado may plan B ka. Okay? You know, when you have a good program for your meetings, it adds knowledge to your members. Knowledge. knowledge to your members. The more knowledge they have, the more value they feel. They feel that they are very valuable.
Mag-Rotary ka, tapos
And finally,
Rotary mo sila, Carol.
the more value you have, the chances are of you being more efficient in doing your community and world service. Diba? You can contribute more. That's the reason why it is important for you to have great meetings. The next one are club assemblies. During club assemblies, what you want to do is to be able to present your plans and programs, educate your members, discuss about the long-term goals of the club, okay? Discuss about what's new with Rotary in the district and in international and other things. More often than not, the most pressing things that require everyone's vote, okay, falls under this one, yung others. Okay, remember, yan, others. Okay, don't forget. And don't forget to read your bylaws. Okay. Your bylaws are there for a reason. I have seen it so many times that even some of the greatest clubs that we know make up their rules along the way, that they themselves violate their own bylaws. Okay? Huwag po kayong maghanap ng butas kung saan po kayo makakasuhan ng member nyo. That's very important. Okay? Let's go to the next responsibility. Bulletin, website, and social media site. You see that nilagay ko yung public image. Kasama siya sa public image. Okay? You see what I'm saying? You need to work with the other committees in your club. Okay? So what exactly do you put in your bulletin, in your website, and social media site? Okay? You put your announcements there. You feature your members. Perhaps you want to put the minutes of your meeting. You want to highlight the community service projects that your club has done. You know, you want to announce upcoming activities. Okay, you want to be able to address critical issues. No, and you know that if your members always see that your sites are updated and you regularly have a bulletin, the more they will participate. Diba? Uy, si classmate ko nandito sa Alaminos, may ginagawa silang project, ang ganda diba? Sa susunod na project, sasama ako kasi gusto ko rin makita yung mukha ko doon sa bulletin. You know, even for that reason alone, diba? It will increase participation, believe me. No? Sabi nung ibang kasama ko, sabi gano'n ng mga ibang kasama ko doon sa isang organization ko. Tinan mo to si Anton, lahat ng activities, laging nandun siya. Laging nasa picture siya. Diba? Ano sagot sa kanya? Kasi lagi kang absent Right? See? If you publish it, it will increase participation. And of course, you want to show the plans and goals and the status of such plans and goals to everyone. Okay. Many people ask, what's the difference between a website and a social media site? You've even heard people say, hindi namin kailangan ng website. You know why? Meron na kaming Facebook Right? So, I'm not saying that it is required. I'm just saying that for the clubs to reconsider having their own website. There are a number of reasons why. Let's try to compare. You know, a website, you can custom design your website. Facebook, you can't. Kung ano pinigay sa'yo ni Facebook, yun na yun. Right? But your website, you can custom design. Right? When it comes to data privacy, diba, there is very limited breaches of data privacy in a website. In Facebook app, forget it. Diba? Kaya nga Apple came out with iOS 14.5. Diba? That you need to allow, allow the tracks in Facebook, or allow the trackers to track you. Okay. But you know what? It's not gonna last long, right? So data privacy, wala when it comes to social media sites. Okay. In website, there's very limited leakages in data privacy. Cost, some people say, mahal magkaroon ng website. Diba? Hindi naman. Right? In Facebook, it's free. Of course, it's free. Okay? But the trade-off is you give up your privacy in Facebook. In your website, you can get a free website or a paid website. It's really up to you. A paid website, you can get let's go to the domain, domain na tayo, which is related to the cost. In a paid website, you can pay as low, we paid less than $10 for 1 year for the domain name of the website that we're gonna put up. Okay, that's less than 500 pesos in a year. And then you have a free hosting site para may up mo yung website mo. Okay? In Facebook, walang ganun. Right? Walang Anton Baltasar, facebook.com. Walang ganun. Right? Facebook.com. Tapos hanapin nila pangalan mo. Right? Okay? Did you know that 75% of people believe that credibility of an organization is in its website? So try to consider it. Try to consider having your club's own website. But remember, if what you will put in your social media page is the same thing as what you will put in your website, then you just wasted your money. Many of us think na ganun eh. Bakit ko pa kailangan ng website? No. Many of us even think inverted. What do I mean by that? The website is supposed to be your primary site. Your social media site is just to give information, to get the exposure, and not the other way around. Okay? Next. Remember that every time you do your bulletin, your website, or your social media site, I just want to cover all the bases because I don't know if I can talk to everyone again soon. Okay? Fellow Rotarians, bulletins, websites, and social media sites is public image po. I have seen po some that they reported their clubs or their projects in their bulletin, and then when they reported it to Rotary Club Central, diba? Nilagay nila hindi public image, nilagay nila area of focus, pati yung mga amounts ay double, triple, quadruple counting na po tayo. Remember, bulletin, website, social media site is nothing simple, is as simple as just public image. Wala na pong iba. Hindi po siya area of focus. Public image po siya. All right? Okay. The next one is, okay, sorry, there you go. Attendance. The CA committee has to, the CA committee is also in charge of working closely with the club secretary to monitor attendance. Okay. Attendance matters. It's very important. So you ask yourself, are your members attending your meetings? Okay. And please don't forget the rule, the 60% rule. Okay. The 60% rule says that you consider a member present if they were there 60% of the time during the meeting. I've also have seen some clubs wherein members, the meeting starts at 7 o'clock. A member arrives at 8:30, 9 o'clock, just in time. Just in time to adjourn the meeting. And yet, they let this person sign that they were present. Diba? Kawawa naman po yung mga tao na who's there the whole time. We also have to be fair. No? So ano po ba ang importante sa atin, sa attendance? No? Yung dumating ako para makipag-inuman sa inyo? O yung dumating ako para tumulong ako sa project ng club? Sometimes there are some things that I will say that are very sensitive. I know. Okay. But sometimes we also need to hear it. Okay. In order for your members to attend, your meetings have to be both relevant and interesting. Diba? Hindi pwede po relevant lang. Relevant and boring, oh, I'm going home. Interesting, but it's not relevant. You know what's going to happen? After a few months, I will not attend anymore because we're doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah, it's interesting. We're doing a lot of things. But that's not why I joined Rotary. Diba? See what I'm saying? Ganun lang po yun. It has to be both relevant and interesting. Okay? You encourage members to attend make-up meetings if they are absent. Bakit po? Because if you encourage them to attend make-up meetings, you are sending a very clear message that attendance matters. Yun po. Diba? Allow them to attend make-up meetings. Allow them to use, to be more flexible. Because it's not every time that it's not every time that I'm available. You know, I mean, when governor calls me up, diba, bangon kagad ako. Diba? Well, no doubt about it. But when I'm in class, I'll let my governor know. Go. Nagkaklase lang po ako. Diba ganun din naman yung meeting? It's not every time na available si member. Let the member know that they have the opportunity to attend make-up meetings somewhere else or through service projects. Okay. Ask your member, why are you not attending, pare? Bro, why are you not attending? Ma'am, why is it that you're not attending? For all you know, ang laki-laki na pala ng problema ng club nyo, hindi nyo pa alam. Why? Because you don't ask. But instead of asking, you will even judge. Like I said, there are some things that you need to hear. Ay nako, ewan ko nga pa dun ba't hindi nag-a-attend Mula nung hindi ko na nakita yun hindi nag-a-attend yun. Wow! Naka-pandemic po tayo. Diba? May comorbidities po ako Diba? Kayo lang po matatapang Gusto nyo face-to-face. Go ahead. Diba? You even take it against your member. Don't do that. You ask them, why is it that they're not attending? And if there's anything you can do to help them, right? Diba? Do so. Believe me, it's going to go a very long way. Okay? Next one. Ito po yung sinasabi ko kanina. You have to be fair. Because you're going to be giving awards for perfect attendance. When someone receives an award, say, hey, for one whole year, I've been present the whole time. Not one single absence. Diba? Oh. Pero yung mga taong dumating ng alas 9 para makipag-inuman, pinapirma ninyo sa attendance. Right? You see what I'm saying? Because you're gonna give an award, you need to be fair. And you give an award because the person deserves it. Okay? And they will thank you for it. And they will strive to do the same thing the following year. Okay? Very important po. Okay? Assign members to do things. Yan. Medyo malapit na po. Alam ko malapit na matapos. Assign members to do things. You know, one member comes in, sits down in the same corner, and just looks at everyone. Does nothing. The following week, nandun na naman po siya. The following week, nandun na naman po siya. And then one day, sasabihin niya, wala naman akong ginagawa dun eh. Nakikinig lang ako. And then they're talking about the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I'm getting tired already of it. So I'll just make up an excuse. Sorry pare, I cannot attend today. Medyo busy ako. And then, dahil nakalusot na ako, the following week, I will have the same excuse. Give them something to do. There is nothing better than engaging your members. Give them something to do. Diba? Ano kaya pwede nilang gawin? Pare, ikaw mag-lead ng invocation next week, ha? Diba? Huh? Diba? Oo, kaya mo yan. Diba? Pare, ikaw mag-acknowledge ng lahat ng ano, ha? Hindi para puro lang si club admin o puro lang si secretary ang nag-acknowledge ng mga present. Diba? You assign naman someone else to do it. Diba? Okay? Alright. Yan. Diba? Malapit na po. Okay, next one. Fellowship. Fellowship is not about me having a drink with you. No. Diba? Kaya medyo ano tayo dyan. Fellowship is not about that. It's not all about that. And just because I don't have a drink with you does not mean that I am not practicing fellowship. Check the dictionary po kung ano po ang ibig sabihin ng fellowship. Fellowship in Rotary is in the ideals of service. Fellowship is knowing your member. That's what fellowship is all about. I look at past President Frank. Oh, past President Frank, I'd like to get to know bro, Nico, how are you? How's your family? Diba? Kamusta si Mrs.? And so that's what fellowship is all about. Right? Something we can talk about. Right? Sooner or later, you'll get to know everyone in your club. Right? You know, I have a very good friend. No? I have a very good friend. I know his whole family because of Rotary. Diba? I know his family. Diba? I know his favorite food. Nagkasundo nga kami dahil sa kain eh. Diba? Oh. Right? Kita na, kaya nga ayaw kong tumayo para hindi nyo makita yung ebidensya. Right? You see? No. Wear a name badge. People like it. You know, this can be a project. Like if you put a name badge on everyone, diba? The new member will always know, si Governor pala yung kaharap ko. My God. So, new member nga, hindi nga nila alam, diba? Right? So, wear a badge. Oh, rotate the people when they sit down. Okay? Oh, eto, here's another sad experience that many of us have. Okay. I'm a new member. Sabihan ka ba naman na, uy, new member. You know, ang tip namin sa'yo, every week, lumipat-lipat ka ng upuan mo para makilala mo yung mga members. Ay, wow! In-invite niyo ako rito? Ako magsusuyo sa inyo? You see what I'm saying? Right? Sorry, again, my fellow Rotarians, again, sometimes we need to hear the hard truth in order for us to make the necessary changes. it is your job to rotate, not the new member. New member they don't know anyone. Diba? How many people do you know na parang pang Miss Universe ang dating? Na friendly to everyone. Diba? Mr. or Miss Congeniality. How many people do you know are like that? Diba? Mahihiya po sila. Kaya nga Rotary, diba? You rotate. Kayo po ang mag-rotate, hindi yung new member. Diba? Wala naman pong mawawala sa inyo if it's just 2 or 3 seats away from your normal seat. Okay? You rotate. Okay? Next. Assign members on introducing people. They like that. Diba? You know what? When I first met with the district training team, these were some of the mistakes I made. Past President Jesse Bautista from the Rotary Club of somewhere from Tarlac po. Diba?
Northern Tarlac.
Past President Alex Patio from the Rotary Club of Northern Tarlac. Tuwan-tuwa pa ako. Alam ko, ay mali. San Fernando P pala siya. You see what I'm saying? Pero ngayon po, I am very proud, very, very proud to say that you ask me, any member of the district training team, I can tell you the club they are from. I can tell you their name, and I can tell you the club they are from. If it gives me pride, don't you think that it will also give pride to your members if they know everyone? Very simple po, di ba? Assign, rotate kung sino po yung nag-i-introduce. Foster relationships. Fellowship is all about meeting new people, establishing relationships. Diba? Within the district, within the country, there are 10 districts in the Philippines. I know at least 2 people. At least 2 people from every single district in the country. I know. There are 10 districts. Diba? And I know a number of people from the world that I can call them up and I can message them and I will call them by their first name, by their nickname, and they will answer me. Not just an acquaintance. Hindi lang po yung pwedeng kong ipagyabang, ay kilala ko si past RI President Gary C.K. What? Diba? Oh. You know, it's just a name that I picked up. I remember kasi past RI President Gary C.K. Wang. Kasi po, my ate, the eldest in our family, ka-sister club po nila, yung club po ni RI President, past President Gary C.K. Kaya naalala ko siya. Right? So, okay. Fellowship is about family. Get your family involved. Not just during Christmas, not just during Halloween, not just during your charter thing, not just during your induction. No. Get your family to attend your service projects. Start them young. May picture po ako. Gusto ko po ipakita sa inyo, kaya lang hindi ko po naihanda. I have a picture, you know what? Medyo late bloomer po ako. I was carrying my 3-year-old son then. 2-year-old son on my shoulder, crossing a footbridge that is about 50 feet high, no? To go to a service project. Like I said, siguro tinitignan nyo, 2-year-old son, few years ago. Diba? Oh, that 2-year-old son is now 5 years old. 5 years old. Puti-puti na yung buhok nitong si Anton. Diba? Okay na po yun. Wag na naman po natin pag-usapan. Kalabaw lang po tumatanda. Diba? Right. Next. Fellowship. Diba? Family of Rotary. Fellowship is about communicating and connecting with the family of Rotary. Take a look at this. Diba? Sino bang family of Rotary? The alumni. Yung alumni. Diba? Inner wheel. Diba? Alumni of Rotary Youth Exchange. Your own family. Interact. Rotaract. Get them involved. That's what fellowship is all about, right? What is the responsibility? What is your responsibility as the committee chair? Very simple responsibility. Do a great job. Lead. That's all. That's what your responsibility is. Diba? Learn. No? You need to learn. How? Diba? You need to learn in managing. You have to have great management skills. You have to learn to get the right people. You have to learn to study what happened in the past. Ano sabi ni Rizal? Ang hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan, hindi makakarating sa paroroonan. You know, don't try to be better than everyone else. Just try to be better today than you were yesterday. That's all. Okay? And be organized. No? Ayan na po, malapit na tayo. I'm so happy. Nose. Diba? Para saan po yung nose? Diba? Ang nose po, pang amoy. Right? So that we can smell things. Use your nose. When something smells good, say it. Diba? When you smell something good in your club, say it. Diba? Di naman po tayo mamamatay pagka tayo po ay nag-appreciate ng iba. Diba? But when you say something, when you smell something bad, say something also. Why? Diba? Before you know it, baka mamaya wala na yung club na pinupuntahan mong meeting. Mas nanahimik ka eh. Right? Say something also. So what's the nose for? The nose is all of us. It's everyone's job po. It's all of us. Okay? Before I end, I want to share with you one of, I have a very good friend. As President, Grizzly Bear. I call him. Actually, mabait nga ako, tinawag ko siyang Grizzly Bear eh. Pero kung yung sinabi ko kung ano talaga yung tawag ko sa kanya, baka matawa ko kayo. Kasi yun din ang tawag niya sa akin. Right? Diba? Anyway, remember the work is not complete and will not be recognized until it is, sorry, wrong spelling, it is reported in Rotary Club Central. My good friend said that to me before I became club secretary. So when I became president, I made sure every single thing was reported in Rotary Club Central. One of the best things I learned. Okay. So, thank you very much. Before I end, I'd like, you are welcome anytime to get in touch with me if there's anything that we in the district can help your clubs with. That's why we are here. We're not here to speak and become popular. We are here to make sure that the direction that Governor Willie wants us to go is carried out throughout the district. And I am your humble servant. If I can give time for all the clubs, I would do so. Okay? Don't hesitate to contact me. In behalf of Governor Willie, okay, our district trainer, past district governor Alvin Gonzalez, and our debonair, dashing debonair district training team advisor, past district Governor J.P. Kadaing, and the members of the district training team. Maraming salamat po, and thank you again for giving me the opportunity to serve. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Thank you, Past President Anton, and also our incoming Chief of Staff for addressing a very important committee, the club administration. It was such a very inspiring and very informative discussion, classmate. Hats off talaga ako sa'yo. So there you go, Rotarians of District 3790. Past President Anton vividly tackled club administration. Clearly, it is only through efficient and effective club operations that a Rotary Club can provide service to its community, retain members, and develop leaders for the club, for the district, and for Rotary International. At this point, you may still have some thoughts in mind which you would like to add more learning on it. So we are now ready. Actually, Past President Anton is now ready to entertain questions. So anyone who would start the ball rolling?
Question, classmate.
Question.
There's a question po here.
Actually, there's one question that I received, classmate. Sabi niya, how would you encourage clubs to have a free or paid website? And what benefits will we get out of it?
Okay. If you say it's free, if you want to get a domain name na talagang pangalan ng alaminosrotaryclub.org, you need to pay for that. But that's very, very affordable. Okay. The beauty of having a website, if I were to try and market a website to all the Rotary clubs, this is what I'm going to do. Okay. I will lead by example. I will show them how my website looks like. Okay. How it looks so differently compared to social media site. Okay. What benefit will it give to them? Can you imagine? Just look at it this way. If I may ask, Press Melvin, ayan si Press Melvin, favorite ko yan si Press Melvin eh. Diba? Press Melvin, hello. I can see you. Diba? Ayan si Press Melvin. Press Melvin, ano po ang inyong email address? Hindi yata makamute si Press Melvin. Diba? Okay. Nakamute ka po, Press Melvin. Press Melvin, ano po ang inyong email address? Hindi yata makamute. Diba? Ayan. Refreshing and inspiring. Thank you po. Kahit po sa chat box, ano po ang email address ninyo, Press Melvin? Diba? Ang email address po ni Press Melvin, sample na lang po. Ang email niya is melvin@yahoo.com. Diba? Hindi kaya mas maganda yung email address ninyo kung ang email address ninyong mga Rotarians is melvin@lingayenrotaryclub.org. Diba? Sa halagang 500 pesos po sa isang taon, everyone can get that. That alone is already very good marketing for everyone. Yun po. Yung ka pala, diba? Yes po, Sir Edgar.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, PP Anton.
Good afternoon po.
Very powerful po yung as always yung presentation nyo pati doon sa pets. Anyway, I have just one question in mind. It's not a question eh. It's asking your some kind of tips siguro eh. Kasi narinig ko sa'yo kanina, just to initiate changes, initiate, how do you call this one? Yeah, changes. Kasi if we have to, yung sinabi mo kanina, yung hard rule, if we have to initiate hard rules dito, just to initiate changes, that might make other sensitive members to leave ganun eh. So could you give me some insights, could you give me some tips on how to initiate this, to give this hard rule, just to
Yes.
be more acceptable for all the members? Thank you.
In the beginning of the Rotary year and throughout the Rotary year, the president will always have the opportunity to announce and to remind all the members of the policies of the club. Okay. First and foremost, yun po. The president does not have to, or the members does not have to, whoever is making the announcement, hindi naman po nila kailangan maging Hitler style. It can be delivered smoothly, yan, or gently. For example, like I said earlier, yung isang example po na sinabi ko, nakita ko si Press Melvin, di ba? Kasama ko si Press Melvin sa club. Absent ng absent, di ba? Sabi ko, Pards, wala ka last week di ba? Busy ka yata. Di ba? Daanan po natin sa ganun. Di ba? Na minsan kasi when we strike a light conversation, lumalabas po yung nasa saloobin ng tao.
Kahit pabiro.
Sabihin ko, Bro Melvin, wala ka last week mukhang busy ka. Kamusta? Diba? Sasagutin, ay nako, alam mo, tinatamad na ako mag-attend sa totoo lang. Ikaw naman, bakit naman? Diba? Kasi ganito. Then you know exactly how to address it. The idea is putting in the rules. Penalizing is the last thing that you want to do. Because yes, you might lose members. It's the last thing you want to do. What you want to do is to try to salvage as much as you can. Just be nice. Talk to them lightly. Yun lang po.
Okay. Just like striking the balance, para naman hindi masyadong masaktan, okay? Para
Yes,
naman
opo.
okay. Okay, thank you very much
Thank you po.
PP Anton. By the way, this is Ed Nudo, PE ng Rotary Club of Bawang dito sa La Union. Thank you.
Bibisitahin ko po kayo.
Thank you.
Sige pa.
So much,
Thank you.
Edgar. Any more questions from our Rotarians?
Hello. Good afternoon, AG. And good afternoon, COS Anton.
PMLV.
Ganun po.
Natanggal ako nag-unmute kasi malikot yung gaway ko. Na-click ko yata yung leave. Kaya mayroon pang audio. Wala na akong video.
Okay.
Wala na akong makita. Nagapa ako.
Opo.
Mayroon akong tanong kasi alam ko bihasa kayo, Chief of Staff Paano pag yung ganito po, mayroong past officer na parang undesirable sa grupo, about 2/3 or 1/2 of the, shall I say, members have left because of that person. Ngayon, will it be possible to come up with a resolution, something like persona non grata or something, delisting that member? Can you give me an intelligent advice regarding this to avoid whatever legal, shall I say, issues?
Ayan na.
You know po, we will always have some of those. And the best thing is, first and foremost, dapat po we will try to be more tolerant of our members. Baka dito po muna tayo. As much as possible, try to be tolerant. And ibubulong ko na lang po. Baka naman po,
Ay, opo.
kulang lang sa pansin. Di ba?
Actually, umalis na
Pero-
yung mga past presidents eh. There are
Pero,
only 2 or 3 left.
yeah, pero, if worst scenario, that
Worst scenario po.
the club really feels that we have to get rid of this person. Diba?
Tinanggal niya sa
There
listahan
are-
pati charter president eh.
Worst scenario,
Yan ang scenario.
yeah, you can as a group, you can make that. Remember earlier I said, read your bylaws. It should be in your bylaws on how you will handle this thing in accordance with the policies of the club and of Rotary International. Follow
Yes, sir.
po the bylaws.
So,
Now, there are reasons.
follow our local bylaws,
Yes,
are
opo.
we autonomous on that account, sir?
Yes, because if the remember po as a general rule, ganito po siya. The decision of the board is final. If anyone wants to challenge the decision of the board, they need to bring it to the club assembly, to a club assembly. The club assembly, when they vote, they are not voting for the issue. They are voting on whether or not they will reverse the decision of the board. And you need 2/3 majority to do that.
2/3.
Yes. Now, if the board has already decided and there was a challenge at dinala po sa club assembly at hindi po na i-reverse yung decision ng board, the reason why you will terminate such a member is club cause. Yung po ang pipiliin yung reason, club cause. Diba? Or
Yes.
kung gusto nyo pong maging mabait at hindi po matarnish ang record, lagay nyo na lang po personal reasons. But it has to be documented po. It has to be documented so that you are also protecting the integrity of your club.
Ay, opo. Maski unanimous ho yung board, it has to have the concurrence of the 2/3 of the assembly.
No, hindi po. The decision of the board is final. And then you need to announce that decision. Then you need to give, depending po on your bylaws, how many days. Let's just say, just out of the blue, I'll say you need to give 10 days for anyone to challenge the decision of the board. And within 10 days, kung wala pong nag-challenge, then you can carry out the decision of the board already.
So it's final and executory.
Yes, opo.
I see. Thank you so much, COS Anton. Pwede ko ba makuha yung mobile number nyo? Parang marami pa akong tanong eh.
Yes po. Yes. Post ko po sa ano.
May ballpen na po
Sa-
ako ngayon.
0, tapos 6 na 9 po. 999.
Tapos ano po?
8738. Yun po.
873.
Si Ma'am Judith po is asking for the calendar of activities. We will ask po si ano.
Classmate, yung by month daw ang hinahanap niya. So may
Yes.
ang konti.
Yes.
And then,
We
I told them that if it is actually provided doon sa manual ng presidents,
Apo.
calendar. Okay.
Kasi you mentioned po, sir, very quickly, and I was trying to jot down the different activities for each month. This will greatly help us as incoming club presidents po to plan for our activities in every month. So sana, sir,
Yes.
pagbigyan ako, ulitin niyo.
Sa chatroom na po, ma'am. Press, nasa chatroom na po. Tonight,
Nakalagay na.
sa chatroom po. Opo. Nag-send na
Okay. Thank you po.
Thank you rin po. So
Or press, you can email me and give me your email address. I will send to you the guidelines po.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What's your email address, Chief of Staff?
Anton Baltasar at yahoo.co.uk po. No?
Anton
Dali lang po.
Baltasar.
Opo.
Okay.
Ako, iikot pa pala sa London yan.
At Yahoo.
That po. That po.
.uk.
.co.uk po. Ito po. I will just show you that one slide so that you can see my contact details po. If anyone wants to, you're welcome po. Anyone can get in touch with me. Yan po. Yan po ang details ko.
Anton.Baltasar. Yeah, Anton Baltasar at Yahoo.
Kunin mo PE yung nauna, yung .co.uk.
.co.uk. Oo.
Opo.
Akala ko .com. .co pala.
Oh.
Yung pangalawa, kwan din yun, gumagana rin po yun. COS.
Yes. Opo. Opo.
Pero may yun.
Yes. Opo.
At alumni. O nawala na.
.ub.
Wala na yung slide. Hindi ko pa
Ay, sorry po. Ayan
yung
po. Ayan po.
slide.
Sorry po.
At alumni. .ub. Ano po yung UBIC, sir?
University of Victoria po.
California?
Canada po.
Canada. O, Canada. Okay, Victoria, Canada. Oo, country pala yung huli. Okay. Kopyahin ko na lahat. Marami kami nagkukopya. Nagkukopyahan kami. COS.
Basta you can get in touch po with us anytime. Lalong-lalo na po yung district training team. We will be more than happy to assist you in any way. Yan po ang instruction sa amin ni Gov. Willie that we have to make ourselves available sa all the...
How to avail of the manual po?
Ay, padadala po.
PE, papadala ko po sa inyo. Anytime magawi po ako sa sa Lingayen.
Ay, opo. O, so magtawag na lang tayo, AG, doon sa manual. O para hindi nagagapas sa dilim. Otherwise, uuwanin ang tawag si COS Anton. Kasalanan ko kasi pina-announce ko yung number niya.
Okay lang po. Okay lang po. If there are
There
no
will
more
be a barrage.
questions,
COS
Anton?
Anton. Parang barrage of missile from Israel or Hamas. Yung mga sa inyo.
COS, Anton?
yes po.
Yung the manual that you're referring to is in a form of a hard copy ba yun or
Ito na po.
e-copy?
Ayan po.
Okay.
Yes. It was compiled po by the Office of the District Governor, and Governor Willie has sent it out to the different AGs, and then it will be given to the presidents po.
So, I thought it is digitized na lang sana para mai-send nyo via email or doon sa chat group. Mas madali.
We will ask po. Yeah, we'll ask po.
Okay. Anyway, we'll be hintayin po namin yan. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you po. Thank
Chief
you.
of Staff, Anton, mayroon pa ako isang tanong.
Opo.
Kasi they are about 5 or 7 breakout rooms for this DTA. Can we have the copy of the video of all the sessions, the breakout?
Yes po.
And including the plenary yesterday and today?
Yes po. We will ask the host club to provide to us all the videos, and then we will post the links to all the videos, plenary and breakout sessions po. Para po lahat po ng available po siya sa lahat po ng Rotarian.
Opo, so we can review. Kasi
Yes,
kung
po.
minsan pag puti na ang buhok at balbas, mabagal magsulat.
Opo. Maraming salamat po.
Opo. Thank you so much
Host
po.
Club, your next speaker, please. Thank you.
So that would
Maraming
be
salamat
all
po.
for our first speaker. Congratulations again for our first speaker, past President Anton, my very, very good classmate. Ang galing-galing talaga, di ba?
Terrific. Double thumbs up, COS.
Maraming salamat po.
Kung mag-classmate kayo, AJ, I would like to believe that kayong dalawa ay magaling together with Governor Willie. So we are blessed to have you here.
Thank you,
Thank you,
President
President
Melvin.
Elvin Samson of the Rotary Club of Lingayen.
Okay.
Kaya mawawala yung agaw-agaw namin dahil I know we would be properly guided.
Yeah.
Whatever endeavor we will be engaging to.
Yeah.
Thank you so much po.
Thank you. Ipila, proceed, please.
So that would be it. The time for our first speaker is about done. So may we request the host club to proceed with the next speaker now. I think PP Anton has done his job answering questions. Thank you so much.
On behalf of District 3790, the Certificate of Appreciation is presented to past President Jose Antonio Anton Baltazar for imparting his insights during its District Training Assembly this 15th day of May 2021. Signed, Willie El Serafica, District Governor, Rotary Year 2021-2022. Thank you.
Our next speaker will discuss resources, a planning guide for effective Rotary clubs through club administration and weekly program sample agenda. An academic, a college lecturer, and a corporate trainer for more than a decade, past President Cha has a number of degrees from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, namely a doctorate in transnational studies, an MBA with a concentration in human resources development, and a Bachelor of Arts degree in creative writing. Past President Cha is currently the managing partner of AEN Management Consultancy Services Corporation, and she is also a faculty member of Our Lady of Fatima University. A district training team member, this Rotary Year's Deputy District Secretary, an incoming district officer for Rotary Year 2021-2022, and a great past president from the Rotary Club of Southern La Union, it is my pleasure to introduce past President Cherise Cha Paredes Sison.
Okay, hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, everyone. So medyo pressured ako with our first speaker. Grabe, sobrang ano. Sabihin ko sana, may question sana ako kanina na, can I just pass? Siya na lang muna. Okay, so anyway, I'll be sharing my screen because my presentation is also within my, there. Okay. Can you clearly see my presentation? Sorry to mention. Okay, are we okay now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Again, I am past President Cherise Paredes from the Rotary Club of Southern La Union, and it is my honor to be part of this life-changing District Training Assembly 2021. This afternoon, we will all together check what are the applicable resources that we are to utilize for our clubs. So COS Anton a while ago showed us the parts of the body, and now I will show you nothing. I will show you the parts of the body of something, but I'll be showing you nothing but resources. Okay, as we all know, resources are necessary for effective operation of any organization. And in Rotary, sorry, resources. It's really, really important. And in Rotary, we actually are very lucky because we have all the resources that we need and tools so that we may achieve all the goals that we have in our clubs. So today, I will be showing you where to find the tools and what tool should we use in order to succeed this Rotary year. Okay, so are you familiar with this one? Are you familiar with this URL?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So this is www.my.rotary.org. You must and you should familiarize yourself with this, as this will be our guide and this will be our #1 tool to access all resources pertaining to Rotary. And just to remind everyone, all the presidents, secretaries, and Rotarians, to please encourage all club members to sign up with Rotary.org. So for them to access this my.rotary.org. So let me differentiate the two sites. The Rotary.org can be accessed actually by anybody, anyone in the world, Rotarians or not, they could access Rotary.org. But my.rotary.org is quite special. Why? Because only members of the Rotary could access this one. And sabi ko nga, all resources that you would want to get, all knowledge that you would like to know regarding Rotary can be found in this one. And of course, for us to have access in this, you need to remember 3 things, or you need to, for you to sign up, you need 3 things. First one is your email address. You need to prepare your email address. It should be a working email address. And of course, an unforgotten password. Kasi baka meron nga kang email address, pero yung password nakalimutan nyo naman. So if ever that you would be signing up, you need to have an unforgotten password. And of course, your Rotary ID number. Because this is the usual problem that we are having. Sabi natin, I already signed up with Rotary.org, but then I still don't have access. May access ako, but it's just, I cannot actually look at the club, see my Rotary.org kasi you have signed up not using your Rotary ID number. So you need to have your Rotary ID number. So those are the things that you need to have in order for you to sign up with my.rotary.org. Okay? Okay. So aside from that, if ever that you would want to find other resources, ang #1 kasi na pumapasok sa utak natin is si Google. Di ba sabi, Google na lang natin yan, madali namang makita, kahit wala na si myrotary.org. But if ever that you will Google resources, Rotary resources in google.com, you will also find this one, resources and references. Okay, so this, sabi ko nga, if you would ask Google, ito rin yung sasabihin niya sa atin. However, this afternoon, we will concentrate on 2 resources that will guide us through in administering our clubs within the Rotary year. Okay? First, we will check the planning guide for effective Rotary club. So ito na yung tinatanong nyo kanina kay COS Anton. So how can we be effective? What are the things that we need to do? So how do we start? Ano ba yung gagawin natin? So this is actually the first step. We need to plan. We need, in order for us to plan, we also need a guide. Okay, so these are now the things that I will be discussing today. So the planning guide for effective Rotary Club actually is a tool to help clubs assess their current state and establish goals for the coming year. Okay, it is based on the club leadership plan, and the strategies listed in each sections are common ways club might choose to pursue goals. Okay, so for us to have an effective Rotary Club, we also need to work on this. Planning guide. Okay, so the planning guide looks like this. Medyo maliit lang siya. Hindi ko na ipapakita sa inyo ng buo, but anyway, I think not just I think, the team will be giving you this form so that you may be able to plan ahead. Okay? So ito yung ginagawa natin. And this this planning guide, it covers 6 sections. Okay, the 5 committees and a leadership section for the members. There are also action steps and meron ding other forms here regarding membership, and it actually and briefly answer the 9 practices of the club leadership plan. So ano yung 9 practices? These are usually the long range goals, the annual goals, the club assemblies, the one that was discussed a while ago, the club assemblies, the communication plan, the continuity plan, the amendment of bylaws, the fellowship, the increase in fellowship, the club involvement, and the training plan as well. So this planning guide for effective Rotary Club should be and must be submitted to your assistant governors. Okay, this should be submitted before July 1. Kasi July 1 is the start of our Rotary year. But if you can and if you may submit this early, much better, so that COS and Anton and together with our governor would review your plans and would give you assistance on what are the other things that you need to add. Okay, so next to that, and actually this planning guide is a 7-pager. So you need to answer this and you need to utilize this one, and once done again, you need to submit it to your assistant governor. And this will be your guide. And actually, you may still add whatever plans or activity that you would want your club to engage with. Hindi porket ito lang yung may form tayo, ito na lang talaga siya. If ever that you have other plans that are not listed here, you can still add up. Okay, so this is one of the forms and one of the guide that you need to actually utilize in order for you to have a very, very effective club and a very, very good club admin in our clubs. And another guide that we could actually work on, and this is a must for all Rotarians or for all the clubs, is to work on the strategic planning guide. So the question here, were you able to finish your strategic planning guide of planning with the club? Kasi yearly we need to have this one. Usually nga months before the next Rotary year, or before the pets, or before the discuss, strategic planning is already done within the club. Okay, because this maps out really what we would want to happen in our club. So we could strategically plan ahead what to do. And with this form, as you can see, medyo maliliit lang siya. This is actually divided into 4 phases. Okay, this is divided into 4 phases. Phase 1, it determines your status. How is our club doing now? So that's the first phase. It will answer, or you will actually answer the question, how is our club doing now? So then phase 2 is you now develop a vision, and that will now answer the question, what do we want our club to be like? So that's a phase 2. Then on the phase 3, the third column here is making now the plan. So the question that you need to answer here is, how can we achieve our vision? And number 4, the phase 4, is to track your progress. How close are we to our goals? So the strategic planning guide and the effective planning guide for clubs works hand in hand, really. And with this, it would identify strategic issues to address. It will also determine clubs' strengths and weaknesses, assess the member satisfaction and needs, and all of these were being discussed, have been discussed by Cos Anton a while ago. And you need also to identify opportunities and challenges in the community. And of course, you also need to list down the characteristic of what you want your club to have, and create a vision statement. We're able to create a vision statement now in your club. You really need to do that because it is Rotary is requiring us to have our own vision statement within the club. Kasi with the seminars and with the trainings that we have been attending before, ito laging sinasabi ni the Rotary, you do strategic planning. You strategize what to do with your club. Okay? So next to that, of course, you also need to set your annual goals, list the activities, the timeline, and the resources that you need. So sabi ko nga kanina, the only resources that a Rotary Club needs is to have access to the my.rotary.org. Yun lang. If you have access to that and you know how to check and go around the site, you will be good. So you don't parang no need to ask me, no need to ask Boss Anton, but you yourself could answer the questions that are actually in your mind right now. So just see to it that everyone in the club, that especially you, wala especially dapat eh, all of us, all Rotarians should be aware of this number one resource that we have. Okay, so again, you may find everything that I've been saying, the plan guide, this planning guide, everything in one resources, and that is in my.rotary.org. Okay, so now let's proceed to the weekly program sample agenda, which is the club meetings. So with the topic that I have, it's resources, but concentration more on this on the planning guide and the weekly sample agenda. Ito yung question din kanina. How do we create a club meeting? Paano ba tayo magka-club meeting? So of course, you need to have an agenda. Okay? So actually, the heart of the Rotary are the members. Kanina ba may picture of heart si COS. So the heart of Rotary are really the members, who are dedicated people that share their passion for community service and friendship. So tayo yung heart ng Rotary. And Rotary member shares ideas, makes plans, hear from the community, and catch up with friends during club meetings. So club meetings are really important to us Rotarians. Okay? So when we do club meetings, you'll need to choose, of course, the meeting location, the frequency, and the format. And in making this decision, we need to consider the need of the club members, the available resources, and the image you would want to project the community. Okay? So here, of course, sabi ko nga kanina, we need, when working on club meetings, we need to check on the meeting location. So just a throwback, in 1905, yung ating apat na founding members, nagmi-meeting sila sa office lang. Okay, but as years went by, and today, club meetings are being done in different places. Diba? Nung pre-pandemic. Nung pre-pandemic kasi, we can already meet in restaurants, libraries, convention centers, sa bahay. Anywhere talaga we could do that meeting. Minsan may clubhouse tayo. So those are the meeting locations that we have. But right now, since it's pandemic, meetings are done differently. It could be via Zoom, the thing that we're doing right now, Google Meet, Facebook Messenger rooms, and other online platforms. And also, we need to really be creative in club meetings right now. Not just the plain meeting, but we also need to be creative, so that that is why we really need to plan ahead and do the agenda very, very well. Okay, so in order, so whenever we decide to hold our meetings, we need to be sure, and we need to also update always our information in our website. Sabi nga kanina, we need to have our website, we need to have our social media social media portal, just like Facebook or whatever things that we do have in public image. So we need to always update those things of our club meeting. So when is the meeting? What time is the meeting? So that's it. Okay, and also we need to check the meeting format. What kind of format would the meeting would be? Will it be face-to-face? medyo risky yun pag hindi pa tayo vaccinated. Will it be face-to-face? Will it be online? Di ba yung in-person, online, or a mix of each? Or what we call now blended. Pwedeng may face-to-face, then pwede rin may blended meeting. And of course, how frequent do we have meetings? So Rotary clubs actually, as per RI, we must meet regularly at least twice a month. Okay? But we can still meet as frequently as we want. Kasi sabi nga, before kasi every week ang meeting. Diba? Every week, kami before every Thursday. Tapos minsan nagiging every Friday. But nagkaroon kasi ng directive before na ang meeting na lang natin is twice a month. So, syempre maraming umangat. Sabi nila, ay bakit twice a month na lang? Dapat every week pa rin kasi paano naman yung the fellowship and all. So, but then you can still add meeting time, but as per RI, the required meeting for every club is done twice a month. Pero pwede pa rin naman. So the meeting format, again, whether it would be online, or in-person, online, or a mix, or blended na sinasabi natin. And with setting club meetings, we also have questions to consider again. So, of course, what are these questions that we need to consider? We need to ask how many members does the club have? Siyempre, pag magsaset ka ng meeting, if ever you do have 20 members, can you do it through Facebook alone? No, of course not. Sabi nila, gusto nila online. But the resources that you have is just Facebook Messenger. So isipin natin with Facebook Messenger, tapos 20 ang members natin, hindi sila makakasali po lahat sa online meeting. No? Dahil sometimes, if you are using Facebook Messenger lang, it can just accommodate at least 8 persons. So kawawa naman yung 16 or yung 12 hindi makakasali. So for you to create this, the meeting format, the meeting frequency, and the location, you need to ask this, how many members do we have? Then, how big do you want it to be? Parang ganon. But then, what meeting format will you use? Yun. How often do we want to meet? Is it twice a month, every month, every
Ano yan? Wala na.
Balik po yan.
nawala ako.
Yan.
Yan, I'm back. Attention na.
Yeah, no, it's
Error. Okay, so questions to consider nga. Sabi ko nga, we need to consider. Meron tayo.
Di ba kayo yung ano eh? Oh, sige, palit ng tubig. Palit. Akin na yung tubig. Palitan natin. Bago. Nini, ang basa Jenny.
Okay, here. Another question. I'm back. Hello, everybody. I'm still here. And I'm glad to be back. And I hope you're still there. Andyan pa ba kayo? Okay, anyway. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for acknowledging. Okay, so again, what are the questions to consider? So, will you have a meal or refreshment during the meeting? Syempre, even if it's off online, even if it's online, you can still prepare food. Just tell them, ito yung magiging team natin. Dapat lahat tayo naka-wine and grapes, naka-grape and wine, parang gano'n, or cheese and wine tayo lahat, or naka-pasta dapat tayo lahat. So even your format of the meeting is online, you still need to check on the meals and refreshments within the meeting. And what would be the facility, and can any members provide meeting space free of charge, or kung face-to-face naman, meron bang parking yung ating meeting place. Yun. So those are the things that we also need to consider regarding club meetings. Now, where do we start? Decide whether you'll meet in person, online, or some of each, or blended nga. If you meet in person, decide whether meetings will have a traditional format, including a meal and a speaker, or an alternative format such as a service or a social event. Okay, so yun po yung pwede natin gawin. Choose the top 2 or 3 locations and invite club members to visit them to go to choose one. So if you wanted to agree of what the meeting format would be, where the meeting would be, what to do within the meeting, of course, huwag mo na solohin yung decision. You also need to ask to ask other members about it. And if you'll meet online, decide what software or service you'll use and the details on how the meetings will be held. And decide how frequently you'll meet, then post the schedule in your club website. So you need to inform everyone regarding what your meeting is. Okay, or saan tayo mag-meeting, or through what. So as we know, Rotary Club meetings are held twice a month. Ulitin ko lang po, it's twice a month. Ito yung ito po yung official. The official Rotary Club meeting is done bi-monthly or twice a month, with the focus being on fellowship. And that being said, there are plenty of news, updates, and discussion that every member should be kept aware of. And the great way to organize meeting is with a formal Rotary meeting agenda. So we need to create a formal Rotary meeting agenda. Hindi po yung anything goes na lang, ay, upo na ako. Sige, meeting na. Ano na tayo? Sige, ano ba to? Call to order. Ayan, so call to order. O sige, kain na tayo. Walang naka-prepare na agenda. Usually may mga clubs kasi ganyan talaga, pero siya informal nga, pero still it is important then that to have a formal Rotary meeting agenda para meron naman tayong pag-uusapan. Okay, hindi lang yung basta biglang dumating at wala naman, kasi sometimes, di ba, or hindi sometimes, we are inviting other people to join us in Rotary. Tapos yun ang dadatnan nila sa club natin. Mag-iisip sila, yung Rotary International, parang iba yata yung culture and orientation. Kaya nga still we still need to organize meeting with a formal Rotary meeting agenda. Okay, and meeting should start on time. Yun nga, the Rotary way, meeting should start on time and end on time. Okay, and should be no longer than 60 minutes or 90 minutes. Yung meeting natin, again, it should be no longer than 60 minutes or 90 minutes. So we need to choose 60 minutes a meeting or 90 minutes a meeting. If your weekly meeting runs between those times, please adjust the agenda accordingly. So the club administration committee is responsible for developing meeting agendas, under the leadership, of course, of the club president. Okay, and I will be showing you 2 examples of meeting agendas, the 60-minute meeting agenda and the 90 minutes meeting agenda. This will keep your club on track. Pero hindi ko naman po sinasabi na ito lang yung gagayahin nyo, ito lang yung gagawin nyo. You can still develop this, you can still pwede nyo pa itong baguhin. Okay, so this is now the 60-minute agenda. So for the 60-minute agenda, so we have meeting to order, usually 5 minutes yung back. Parang sabihin ng Pipi Cheris, bakit ang tagal naman ng call to order, 5 minutes? Bigyan na natin yung 5 minutes kasi baka mamaya malaki yung call or meron pang tech issues. So bigyan na natin siya ng 5 minuto for the call to order, yung sa presidente natin. And then meal plus the other things, it's 30 minutes. So in the 60-minute meeting, The meal is already incorporated. So do sa 30 minutes kasama na si President's time, introduction of visiting Rotarians and guests, correspondence and announcements, the committee reports, and the club business. So habang kumakain, pwede na kayo mag 30 minutes nun. Or pwede nang kainin yung 30 minutes sa meeting na yon. Then program, ibig sabihin, that is if you do have your guest speaker. So it will eat up 20 minutes of your time. So you need, of course, to introduce the speaker and the speaker's presentation. Now for closing remarks by the president, that's only 5 minutes. Then after that, adjournment. So, ayan po siya. Then the other thing, ano lang po to ha, this will just be a guide for you. But if you do have other things within the club, pwede niyo po siyang palitan. Okay, next here is the 90-minute Rotary meeting agenda. Mamaya I'll tell you what the difference is. So meeting call to order is still, that's 5 minutes. Meal and fellowship period, that's 30 minutes. So there is an allotted time for the meal and fellowship period. President time, that's 20 minutes, inclusive of the introduction of visiting Rotarians and guests, correspondence and announcements, committee reports, club business, and the next one again, program, 30 minutes, sinabaan na natin yung si program. So if you do have special guests, halimbawa, inimbita nyo si mayor or kung sino man, so the program would be 30 minutes. You have the introduction of the speaker, then the speaker's presentation. And still, the closing remarks by the president, which is 5 minutes. Then after such, the adjournment. Okay, as you can see, the main difference of the 90-minute Rotary meeting is that there is a significant amount of time set aside for meal and fellowship. Ito po siya. Ayan, di ba? There is a separate time for a significant amount of time for the meal and fellowship period. Okay, so yun lang po yung difference niya with the other one. With the 60-minute, the meal is incorporated within the meeting. With the 90-minute, there is a separate significant amount of time used for the meal and fellowship. Okay, so the club president, of course, they are the ones who presides over all club meetings. And each club meeting should feature an interesting topic or program that will strengthen Rotarians' knowledge and encourage continued membership and increase awareness, of course, of local and global issues. Yun po yun. And since bi-monthly meetings are strictly for news and fellowship, no quorum is needed because as no voting should take place during the Rotary meeting. And however, there should be ample time for program questions as well and discussions of other concern. So yun po yun. During the meeting, you also need to have a question and answer, especially if you do have new members or you do have returning members. You also need to answer all the questions that they have in mind. Pero wala mo na mag-aaway. Siguro yung away after ng adjournment. Joke lang po. Wala naman nag-aaway sa Rotary. Okay, the objective of the bi-monthly meeting is to have fun, share a meal with other members, and enjoy an engaging presentation. It's time to catch up on club news and projects and learn about exciting initiatives within the community. So, yun nga po, while we are doing business, we also need to have a fun environment during our meeting. Huwag masyado pong stressful because sabi nga natin, we are serving the community. We also do service above self. So, bati-bati po tayo lahat pagdating sa Rotary. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope you have learned something from my presentation. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Past President Cherise from the Rotary Club of Southern La Union. For her topic, one pops up in our mind. How would you rate your club? Okay, again. Hello, do you hear me? Okay, thank you, Past President Cherise from the Rotary Club of Southern La Union. For your topic, fellow Rotarians, one question pops up in our mind. How would you rate your club? Because
My club?
No. I'm just having a recap of it, past President Cherry.
I'm sorry.
Everything changes and evolves. It is important to take a realistic look at your club each year. From your membership makeup to the types of service projects your club does, evaluating where you are is the essential first step to a vibrant club. So typically, Rotary clubs with a strategic plan are stronger than clubs without one. Research shows that members of clubs with a plan were more satisfied and had a more positive view of their clubs and Rotary overall. So before throwing the questions, I would like to share the insight of our district governor nominee designate, Francis Cornejo. Good PM everyone. Hello, DDS Cherise. Add ko din about strategic planning. All club must prepare 3-year strategic plan plus past Rotary year para makikita ano nagawa last Rotary year, ano pwedeng ituloy at baguhin to improve club goals for the following year. This is why we need sa club planning team or club board, may president nominee designate, may president nominee, may president-elect, president, and the immediate past president. Ito po yung contribution info ni DGND Francis Cornejo. So from here, I would like to ask our fellow Rotarians who are here with us to start throwing questions to our very glamorous speaker, past President.
Glamorous talaga. If you have questions, the only one that can answer that is the link, which is the myrotary.org.
President Melvin,
yes,
any questions in
I have a
mind?
question in mind.
Yes, President emailed me.
Alam ko po, good afternoon po, PP Cherish. Thank you for the very lecture on us. We are reminded, refreshed, and encouraged, as well as challenged. Kaya lang, I do believe I was told may mga codes, may mga files daw na hindi pwedeng buksan ng every Rotarian. Only the secretary or the president can do that. Tama po ba yun?
Okay.
Yung mga
yes, kasi there are certain parts in the myrotary.org that only officers could access. For example, the club administration side, the club admin tools, it can only be edited by the officers. But the members could view. They could view, but they cannot edit. Only the officers could edit things in the myrotary.org. But everyone could view the site as well. So like the club admin, they could just view it. They could view the members. They could view the club's development, the report, but they cannot edit. Only officers can do the editing and can do the uploading of the reports.
PP, with your indulgence, are there codes or numbers or passwords that will be asked from us?
Okay. For the passwords, it is you who will assign your own password, because when you sign up to Rotary.org, you will be the one to create or to input your own email address and your own password. And of course, your Rotary ID. So if ever you forgot your password and you can no longer access myrotary.org, you can just email data@rotary.org and tell them that you have issues regarding your access. And within 24 to 72 hours, they will help you and they will help you out to get your passwords again.
Yeah.
And your
How about the
access.
Rotary number, PP?
How about the
Rotary number? I don't have it for
the Rotary number? Okay, when you check on club administration, and you check on the members of your club, there is a certain column that says Rotary number. And also, once you access if you don't know your numbers yet, you could actually ask your secretaries to have that that file downloaded so that the secretary or the president or you as the president could give the members their club IDs. And by the way, PE, Melvin, by July 1, you may be able to have access on those things, and you may be able to see all the things, all the reporting side of the club administration and of the my.rotary.org. All the functionalities will
Starting
be
July 1.
available July 1st.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, July 1st.
July.
Everything will be made available to you. You may now add members, you may now terminate members, but do not do that. So you will now be superpower in your club because you may remove them or you may add members as well.
Yeah.
I would like to add an ad.
In addition, I would like to add some more.
2010.
Yes, PE. May dadagdag lang po ako
Yeah.
information. For the deleting and adding of members, you have to do it before July 1. Kasi po pag gumawa po kayo July 1, kasama na po yan sa SAR, sa babayaran nyo sa next invoice po yun ng first semester, July 1 to December. So you have to coordinate with the immediate past president or the president na nakaupo po ngayon bago kayo. Dapat po mag-alyansa po kayo, maupo po kayo magdalawa. Pag-usapan niyo po with your board kung sino po i-drop nyo sa mga hindi nagbabayad, sa mga... Basta kung ano po yung napagkasunduan nyo na i-delete or idadagdag, uupuan nyo, actually hindi pa po dagdag, delete lang muna kung may i-delete po kayo para po hindi siya makama sa aabonohan ng club kasi yun pala sa bandang huli hindi na siya mag-member. So you do it on or before the 30th of June po.
Yes, but we are not encouraging that to happen kasi we are into retention. We're not encouraging that to do. Pero siguro as much as possible we would retain our club members. Kasi if ever we do that, magpo-fall kasi yung ating citation at times.
Hopefully, I'm well aware of that kasi in 2010, I was invited as one of the resource speaker during the membership development seminar at the hotel in Bawang during the time of Governor Manny. We were in the biggest club. We were at something like 80 or 82. It's sad now that we are just about 20.
AG Laura.
Yes.
I don't know what happened. Nagbakasyon din po ako ng almost 10 years. The biggest club of 82 members.
Yes, we would be discussing more on membership and club
recruit, retain, and delete.
Yes, we really need also to retain members. So we would be discussing that in some other forums. But for now, yes, there is another question I think with PE.
Yeah, Ed Nudo. Yeah.
Po kayo, PP. Choppy na po kayo, PP Cheris.
Yeah, if classmate Melvin is already done, then can I have the floor?
I cannot hear.
Okay.
Pakiulit po.
Okay.
Yeah, AG Laura.
Good afternoon po.
Yeah, good afternoon po. This is PE Ed Nudo of Rotary Club of Bawang.
Ed Nudo, you're here.
Yeah, I have heard about those terminations. Anyway, should it be necessary lang naman, di ba? And whose responsibility is that?
Actually, for the club administration, of course, the only people who could do that are, for example, the president, the secretary. But of course, before doing that, you need to check with the other members. You also need to check with the person that you are terminating.
Yes.
Kasi termination of members is a highly critical thing. Kasi what if nagka-issue lang yung member? So we actually do not terminate immediately. So you also need to evaluate first whether or not that person or that member could be just siguro parang transfer muna natin siya as honorary member, just not to terminate him. Kasi at times ang ginagawa natin, ano lang po as an observation ko lang, this is my own take. At times what we do, pag hindi na nakakabayad, we terminate immediately. what if that person is a charter member na matanda na talaga, na hindi na lang talaga siya nakakapagbayad? Why do we terminate them? So wag na natin silang i-terminate. Let's just make them an honorary member. Kasi naman, they have actually, they have contributed a lot in the then you will be terminating them immediately. We will be terminating them. Masakit po sa kaloob yan. Masakit sa loob ng Rotarian na nagtrabaho sa inyong club, then bigla siyang mati-terminate kasi dumating yung time na wala na siyang pambayad. So siguro we need to actually do some workarounds on how can we retain that member by not removing them in your club. So yun po siguro yung kailangan din pag-isipan ng mga clubs natin. Why terminate immediately? Pag pag-aralan natin, bakit ba siya hindi nagbabayad? Yun.
Yes,
kasi
thank you.
That's the basis eh. Yung laging basis natin, hindi kasi nagbabayad kaya terminated. So we really need to check on that as well.
Yes, thank you, Past President Charis.
What if mayroong mabigat na ground?
Yun po, yung kanina pinag-usapan po, yung sinabi ni COS kanina, di ba? You need to deal with that with your club members. Sabi nga 2/3 of the votes, yun po. We will go to that process.
Good.
Ano po kayo? Garbled
Yeah.
po yung boss.
Actually, it should be done in the most objective way. We understand those Past President.
Yes.
Past President Charis. Pero
So,
ito yung sinasabi
parang
ko, kung kailangan, ang tanong ko, whose responsibility is that? It should be the incumbent
Yes.
officers, right? It should be
Yes,
the
the
president.
incumbent officers.
Okay.
Because they have access. They have access with the system. Pag hindi po kayo incumbent officer, you don't have access yet.
Power.
Okay.
Wala pa yung powers kayo.
Just
July
one-
1 pa po tayo.
Just a simple
Yes,
question. Yeah, a follow-up
okay.
question. Doon sa meeting agenda, could we just separate the fellowship from the meeting proper agenda?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
Kasi
Yes, you may.
usually fellowship will time
After.
kasi may mga
Yes.
drinking sessions, knowing each
Yes.
other.
Yes.
Tama, no?
Tama. You can do that.
Thank you.
You can do that. That is just like a guide that you may use, but you can still modify.
In addition po, PMLD,
Thank you.
actually the fellowship follows after adjourning the regular meeting. Yun po yung
But at times, the reason why the agenda is like that, kasi there are certain Rotarians na right after the meeting mo uwi na eh.
alis na.
So, yun yung mga yun. yung mga parang nagmamadali na after 1 hour, kailangan ka na umuwi. So, kaya we are injecting fellowship then within that 60-minute agenda. So, kahit pa paano nakapag hi and hello, na hindi lang talaga business meeting na seryoso. So, that is why it is done that way. Kasi we also need to be considerate with other members who would really hope to go home right after the meeting.
Yaman kami, Past Pres Charis. Thank you.
Any more questions? Satisfied po, PE Melvin and PE Ed?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you po. Any more questions from our audience po, mga nasa chat room natin? There being no more questions, may we turn over po sa host club for the next speaker.
Okay, thank you very much.
More words?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, PP Charis. Host club.
Hello? Hello, P. Steve? Okay, P. Steve, can I do my vote of thanks? Okay, on behalf of District 3790, this certificate of appreciation is presented to Past President Charissa Paredes for imparting her insights during its district training assembly this 5th day of May 2021. Signed, Yours truly, Willie Serafica, District Governor 2021-2022. Thank you. Ilaw.
Host Club. Next speaker, please.
May we call on District Governor-elect Willie Serafica for the vote of thanks.
Yeah, I'm done with it, please, Steve. I'm done with it. Yeah, natapos ko na yun, ano?
Are you live now, Go?
Yeah, okay. Sige, okay, on behalf of District 3790, the certificate of appreciation is presented to past President Charissa Paredes for imparting her insights during its district training assembly, the 15th day of May 2021. Signed, Willie Serafica, District Governor 2021-2022. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sino ang malapit na maging major donors? Okay. Global campaign for letter S. This is one of the most effective and tested strategy in raising funds for
Host no audio.
So, but the snowball campaign must follow a timeline. After this now.
Good afternoon po. Naririnig po ba ako? Hello po.
We can hear you po. Naririnig po.
The RRE Pilson, can you share your screen already?
Not yet po. Hindi pa po ako na
Hold on.
host po ni
Realize how the hearing works to
yeah. So before po hinihintay po natin na ayan, ito po.
campaign for
Parang
hearing class. This is the busiest quarter.
Okay na, you can post. You
Ito
can
na po.
already. Thank you.
Yes.
Dapat po na
Ayan, so mas kinabahan po ako after na ni Chief of Staff Anton tsaka po ni Tita Charis. Parang mas lalo akong kinabahan. Anyway po, amazing day everyone. It's a pleasure to talk and discuss district training assembly, and having this opportunity really gives me a beautiful outlook that the incoming term is really exciting, showing that our district gives the Rotaract a chance to present the plan for the next years to our Rotarians, and expecting that we will be having more joint projects. As what DGNC was said yesterday, Rotaract is the future of Rotary. Hence, we are here to help and learn to continue the cause of Rotary International, to be your true partners in service. Yan, before I proceed, I want to personally introduce myself. I am Kelson Madla Murillo from the Rotaract Club of Mariveles Freeport. sponsored by Rotary Club of the incoming District Rotaract representative, and with President Bong Villanueva of RC Baguio Highlands as the District Rotaract Chair, will be in help with District Governor-elect Willie Serafica in keeping the Rotaract clubs of our district and to have a bigger membership and club numbers. I am here to present the 5-year plan or the 5-year strategic plan of Rotary International District 3790. Una po, to have an overview. Last June 2020, we have 72 clubs, 72 active clubs before the transforming year. And Rotary year, we chartered a total of 17 new clubs, Rotaract clubs. But unfortunately, due to some clubs were not able to update their data in the website, 9 clubs were terminated. That gives us a total of 80 active clubs as of 13th of May and a total of 1,356 registered Rotary. So this 5-year plan is patterned or based on RI strategic objectives or priorities, such as increase our impact, expand our reach, enhance engagement participation, or enhance participant engagement rather, and lastly, increase our ability to adopt. So our first priority is our impact. The objective is to eradicate polio and leverage the legacy. So the goal of the district is to have an annual contribution of Rotaract clubs in the district in support to end polio campaign. We have a KPI or the key performance indicator of this goal, which is the number of clubs in our district that will contribute at least $50 to TRF or End Polio Now campaign to End Polio Fund to be specific. For this year, we have a target of at least 50 clubs who will meet the requirement. How? By having proper dissemination of information to Rotaract clubs about End Polio Now campaign. Rotaractors must start to support the Rotary Foundation, learn the art of giving, and train the Rotaractors to become Rotarians. Rotary is also recognizing the Rotaract clubs. When a Rotaract club gives at least $50 to the foundation with a minimum of 5 members with $10 contribution per member, they will be recognized by the Rotary International as Rotaract Giving Club. Also in this goal, we will help the club to slowly adapt the change in Rotaract, which is by Rotary, change in Rotaract by Rotary year 2022 2023, because all Rotaractors will be having annual dues. It is under the Elevate Rotaract. For a quick overview, the Elevate Rotaracts elevates the Rotaract clubs by acknowledging them in the RI Constitution and bylaws as a unique membership type within RI. Hindi na po siya program lang ng Rotary, but another unique membership type. Rotaract clubs will still have their own standard constitution and will remain a separate club membership type from Rotaract clubs. Ayun po. And also in this goal, we can also spearhead income generating project na magsusupport po sa End Polio campaign. And lahat po ng kikitain dun sa project na yon is mapupunta po lahat sa End Polio campaign or Polio Plus Fund. Next is to improve our ability to achieve and ensure impact. The goal is all clusters of Rotary International in District 3790 must have projects aligned with all the Rotary areas of focus in one community. The KPI is the number of clusters that will create such project. Yes, considering the current situation now, we must check all the clusters if the clubs in their area are still active, especially that some clusters are mostly school-based clubs. I know that it is really challenging to have this, especially that we are geographically challenged. In this goal, the cluster can do the project through having training on project and fund management, project proposal making, and of course training on what the Rotary 7 areas of focus with the help of the district. In this case, the club can have a project that will cater all areas of focus with the guidance of its cluster. Next goal is the district also has a goal to have clubs in our district that will qualify in Rotaract Outstanding Project Awards, or simply called as ROPA. ROPA is done annually by the Rotary International, in which they will select the best project made by a Rotaract club, and it has a monetary award that will be big help to sustain the project. I think last time po yata nagbigay sila ng parang $10,000 po yata yung award, or hindi ko po masyadong maalala. But for this ROPA this year, galing po sa Philippines yung nanalo from District 3860. Their project is the hydropore, or yung pagtatanim po ng plants sa mga recyclable materials. In order to do this, we will be having a district search for outstanding project during mid-year review, and encourage the clubs to send their best practices for Rotaract Outstanding Project Awards. Actually po, some districts have already mid-year review in their Rotaract, and this year I will introduce it to our district, so they will also be guided accordingly in their projects and also recognize their efforts even in the half of the term. The district will also help the possible qualifiers and provide necessary technical assistance in project management and documentation. Kasi po dito po sa ROPA, ang hinahanap po talaga dito ng RI is more on documentation, and kulang po talaga, sinabi rin po ng representative from Rotary International na marami pong magandang projects pero kulang po ng documentation. Yung mga pictures like action photos, mga ganyan po yung naukulangan. And also sa paggawa po ng write-ups. Next strategic plan is to expand our reach, to grow and diversify our membership and participation. The goal is to increase the transition of interactors to Rotaract. The KPI is the number of interactors continued continued. Actually po yung 5-year plan, it was already started this Rotary year, and hanggang sa year 2024-2025 po. Yung kung papasin niyo po yung kulay pink, yan po yung year 2 for our incoming term po. Yan po yung goal ng district natin, ng Rotaract clubs in our district. So, in order to reach the goal of having an increased transition of interactors to Rotaract, we will encourage each club to have a membership screening of proper documentation to know whether the new member is a former interactor. Also, to encourage the Rotary clubs with sponsored interact clubs to sponsor a Rotaract club. So there is also a retention. There will be a secured home for their interactors. Kasi po, meron po kasing iba na from interact, nawawala po na sila sa Rotary service dahil wala po silang makitang hindi po nila alam kung saan po sila pwedeng lumipat na Rotaract clubs. The district will also develop a database or list of active Rotaract clubs with the contact information, and will be given to the interactors. So when the time has come and they want to continue their Rotary service, they have a list of clubs that is within their area. Lucky enough that in our district, interactors and Rotaractors have joint activities. Sa other district po kasi, iwalay po talaga ang event ni interactor po natin, at least kahit paano po si interactors, nakikita na po nila what Rotaractors are doing in our district. We also have a goal to increase the transition of Rotaract to Rotary. Also, to encourage each club to have a membership screening for proper documentation and to make a list of endorsement of Rotaractors that can be forwarded to the Rotary clubs in our district. We are aware that Rotary is invitational and some Rotaractors are waiting for this invitation. By having this endorsement, Rotaractor may find their Rotary club. Also, to have an increased joint activities of Rotary and Rotaract. We are here to help the Rotarians. We are here to continue the legacy of Rotary International. To train the Rotaractors by our Rotarians may increase the transition of Rotaract to Rotary. Wait lang po. To train the Rotaractors by Rotarians, we may increase the transition of Rotaract to Rotary. Yes, others are really hesitant to join because of dues and such. But by having proper guide and seeing what Rotary really is, we can encourage more Rotaractors to continue their Rotary service by joining Rotary Club. Through Elevate Rotaract, the Rotaractors have given a chance to be part of district committee, not only in district Rotaract committee. If we will continue to engage the Rotaractors and open to them the opportunity to work hand in hand with the Rotarians, I am sure that we will be having an increase of transition from being an interactor to Rotaractor and finally a Rotarian. A great foundation indeed. So, in addition, we also aim to have an increase the number of newly chartered Rotaract clubs. We can do this by promoting also harmonious relationship between the Rotarians and Rotaractors. As I said earlier, we are here to help. Don't think that Rotaractors are additional club expense. For those who still don't have Rotaract club, we can provide assistance with the District Rotaract Committee and District Rotaract Chair on steps of organizing a Rotaract club. We also want to encourage Rotary clubs with existing university-based Rotaract clubs to organize a community-based club. Through this, we can have the retention of members. Once the Rotaractor graduated in their school, where they will go, how they can continue their Rotary service. So if we will have it, we can introduce them to other community-based Rotaract within the area until they are ready to join the Rotary Club. Also, one important thing we need to focus this year is to report or register all Rotaractors in Rotary website. Update the membership and officers data. To achieve this goal, we will train the Rotaractors on how to use the Rotary website. Actually, Rotaractors have also access with this my.rotary.org. Presidents and club advisors have the access in club administration. Based on the current reported numbers of Rotaractor and Rotaract clubs, we have an average of 17 members per club. But for the information of everybody, if we will not update the data of our Rotaract club in the website, it will be terminated. As well as many of the Rotaract clubs are below the chartering strength number of members. During our DRRE training, sinabi na po doon na new chartering strength is 20 members. 20 members po. And many of the clubs have only one reported member in Rotary database. We need to work on this po. Next is to build awareness of our impact. All the Rotaract club within the district must participate in the People of Action campaign. Uh, in order to achieve this, first, we need to ensure that all Rotaract clubs have their social media account or page. And also, we will be having a proper guidance on how to make this campaign. This People of Action campaign naman po can be accessed in the Rotary website as well. The third strategic priority is enhanced participant engagement. The objective is to offer new opportunities for personal and professional connection. We have the goal to have participants to APRRC, or the Asia Pacific Regional Rotaract Conference, which is participated by the Rotaractors from other within the Asia Pacific region. For the next term, it is already announced that this event will be done virtually, but in 2023, the APRRC will be in South Korea. We also have this PROCON, or the Pilipinas Rotaract Convention, participated by the 10 districts here in the Philippines. This incoming year, Rotary year, District 3770 will be hosting it, and the venue will be in Clark. And for PROCON 2023, District 3870 will bring the Rotaractors in Cagayan de Oro. So these events may offer new opportunities for the Rotaractors, and also to have a wider connection. In order to achieve the goal, we will encourage the Rotaractors to engage in the activities not only in our district. During the district events, we will let the previous participants share his or her experience in the said event, so he or she may encourage other individuals. We will be sending invitations to the sponsor clubs at least 3 months prior to opening of registration, and of course, to learn more and to extend the connection. Of course, we also have our district events such as Rotaract District Training Assembly, RILA, and DISCON for Rotaractors and Interactors. We aim to have at least 3 participants this year for every club within the district. In order to encourage them, they need to have a detailed information about the event, so they will know the importance of it. We want to keep it fun, but we will ensure that proper knowledge will be imparted to all Rotaractors as well as Interactors. And for the RI strategic priority number 4, increase our ability to adapt, to build a culture of research, innovation, and willingness to take risks. The district develop and maintain district website for the Rotaractors. This year, the DRR Malamud is developing a district website for Rotaract, and all of the clubs will be using it because this will be the platform to report the projects and to be engaged more in our district. This is still under construction, but I am confident that it will be a great platform to use for easy reporting and wider connection of clubs within the district. Ito po yung plan ng Rotaract. And for this incoming year, we will also focusing more on explaining what is Elevate Rotaract, especially that this incoming year is really the transition period for Rotaractors, and we really need your help about this one. Also, I want to ask your assistance to update your sponsored Rotaract Club information and as well as incoming officers in Rotary website. If it's also possible, Rotaract clubs need to cleanse or update their members in Rotary database, so we will know what is the real number of Rotaractors in our district and meet the RI challenge, each one bring one. Also, Rotaract club need to do this, so we will have data or number of active Rotaractors, and it will not be a problem for the Rotary year 2022-2023 if the Rotaractors have already an annual dues. For overview po, sa annual dues po ng Rotaractor by next term or by Rotary year 2022-2023, Rotaractors under university base will be paying $5 per member, and under community base, $8 per member po. The incoming events for Rotaract, we will be having a DTTS or District Rotaract Committee on May 30, and the sets for Rotaract, we are planning to have it on June 19 or 20. So hindi pa po siya pa-finalize since we are still waiting for the president-elects of your Rotaract clubs. Actually po, we already have the data from Area 4 and Area 3 kung sino po yung mga president-elects po ng mga Rotaract clubs. We are still waiting for the Area 1 and Area 2 and some clubs in Area 3 and Area 4. So also for the life-changing Rotaract presidents, we made a District Rotaract Representatives Life-Changing Challenge. This will be a guide for Rotaract clubs in achieving the district strategic plan, as well as their guide in what they can do for this Rotary year. Nandito po yung halos lahat po ng activities na nakasulat naman po sa challenge is also the goal of Rotaract Club strategic plan for our district. And as what our Rotary team said, serve to change lives. Being a leader is not only about on how to achieve your goals or plans during your term. It is also creating impact to the people you are serving too. We must act wholeheartedly, lead genuinely, so we can outshine and make a great difference in serving the community. Be a great life changer you want to be. Again, this is life-changing District Rotaract Representative of our district, Rotary International District 3790, Kelson Madla Murillo. God bless us all and have an amazing day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, District Rotary Representative-elect Kelson Murillo from the Rotary Club of Mariveles Freeport. It was a very informative discussion. Now I would like to give a little trivia. So for those of you Rotary clubs who do not have or haven't sponsored yet a Rotary club, you may now look for a club to sponsor, although chartering or forming a Rotary club no longer need a sponsor Rotary club. And beginning, beginning July 1, 2022, Rotary clubs will pay per capita dues to Rotary International. University-based clubs will pay $5 per member each year, and community-based clubs will pay $8 per member each year. So new clubs will no longer have to pay the one-time $50 certification fee after July 2022 or during the time that Ana Insana will be district governor. So can we start the ball? Any questions from our Rotaractors, Rotaractors of District 3790 from the audience? May I address District Governor nominee Ana Lorenzana, who have a question?
Thank you.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to our speaker. Meron lang po akong question since nabanggit niya po na isa sa challenges ng mga Rotaractors to transfer to a Rotary Club is regard. So ang tanong ko po, ikita niyo po bang challenge to pagdating ng 2022 in terms of paying?
Thank you po, DG TG and Anna for the question. Actually po, yun po yung pinag-aaralan po namin ngayon. And that's why the district is developing some projects na makakatulong po. So, makakatulong po sa mga clubs para po hindi po sila mabigla for the incoming Rotaract dues. Also, I will introduce the project po, ang tinatawag po na OREO or one Rotaractor helps every other. So, ang sasabihin ko po dito, ang focus po ng project na yun is if another Rotaractor is willing to sponsor another Rotaract member or another Rotaractor na magbabayad po sa kanya for the annual due. And also ngayon naman po is meron na po tayong district dues for the Rotaractors na makakatulong po sa kanila dahil po ini-encourage po lahat ng Rotaract clubs. Ini-encourage po lahat ng Rotaract clubs talaga na magkaroon rin po ng membership dues. Ito po kasing annual dues is kung iisipin po dollars, para po sa atin masyado siyang malaki, $8. Pero kung
400 per year?
papansinin po, kasi pag narinig po talaga ng Rotaractor sa dollars, baka po sabihin ay ang laki dollars. Pero pag i-convert naman po siya sa peso, 400 pesos or less. And other Rotaractors can buy Starbucks in one drink, 180. And ano naman po itong 400 pesos that it can be used in, and also, yun po yung kailangan natin gawin. I-introduce po sa kanila kung para saan po yung babayaran. Hindi lang naman po, kasi sa LV Rotaract ngayon, hindi lang po magbabayad dahil po gusto po ng Rotary. Ang mangyayari po is once na, dahil meron na rin pong dues ang mga Rotaractor, they can also, paano po ba ito? They can also use or they can also have the same access or limited access na meron na po yung mga Rotarians. They can access the RCC, they can also have this global grant, mag-apply po sa global grant, and also sa pagbibigay po sa TRF, yan po, magamit din naman po yun doon. I think kung ma-explain po siya ng maigi sa mga Rotaractors, hindi po tayo mahihirapan for the incoming Rotary year 2022-2023. And yun nga po yung nasabi ko rin po is to cleanse the database kasi po marami po tayong clubs ngayon na they have reported members 4376. Pag po hindi po natin na-cleanse yun, kung hindi po talaga active yung 76 na yun, dun po tayo mahihirapan kasi kailangan po natin silang bayaran. Nasaan po yung 76 members na yun? Nasaan yung 76 members na yun? Kung 7 or half of them are only active, dun po tayo mahihirapan dahil hindi po dun po, paano ba masabi po yun na? Parang papalwalan po natin yung half of the, yung mga inactive members. Kaya po, as much as possible, yun po talaga yung goal ko is to cleanse the Rotary database of the Rotaractors and to add who the active Rotaractors po talaga.
Okay, DGNB Anna, I also have an input on that. Yun pong issue nila just in case Rotaractors wanted to be a Rotarian. Kasi from what I've read, pag puro Rotaractors na magiging Rotarian na, they can just pay yung mismong RI dues na $35, $35.50. Pero depende pa rin po yun sa usapan ng mga Rotarians. Yun ay kung gusto po nilang i-absorb yung Rotaractors na maging regular Rotarians. So actually, ang RI dues is per semester, $35.50 for the first semester and then $34.50 sa second semester. So hindi na po sila katulad ng regular Rotarians na we pay, just like in our club, we pay half semester ng 3,000 pesos. So for Rotaractors to becoming a regular Rotarian, pwede naman daw pong pag-usapan na yung mismong $35.50 lang po ang bayaran for every semester. Did that contribute, TGN Anna?
May question pa po yung iba. Kung wala pa, meron pa ako. Sorry.
Yes po, acknowledge po, DGN Anna.
The speaker mentioned about the 5-year plan, no? So, tanong ko lang po, involved po ba yung incumbent officer of the Rotaract and the incoming? After you, I mean, involved
Actually
sila
po,
sa planning?
This 5-year plan po, yung DRN po kasi and also me, I was just elected last March 14 and ang tawag po dito, na-proclaim po kami March 21. And this 5-year plan was made by DRR Malamug on his term. Pero po, after the proclamation, I immediately have asked the presence of the present DRR and also the incoming DRR to review the 5-year plan. Kung napansin niyo po, may mga sa presentation kanina, may mga naka-strike through and also may mga naka-parenthesis. Yun po yung mga iniba po namin. Yun po yung mga napag-usapan na, ito yung baguhin natin, ito yung gawin natin. And also, yung iba po, tulad po ng updating the Rotary database, we just add it because kailangan po talaga siya na ma-focus for the incoming Rotary year 2020-2023 nga po, for the annual dues. And yun po, informed naman po si DRR Malamog as well as si DRR and Clicks po about this po.
Okay, we still have one question if you are good.
Yes po.
Okay, from Mylene Taniedo of the Rotary Club of Uptown Dagupan. The question is, I am not sure if it was discussed. My question is, if there is an existing sponsoring club and the Rotary Club decides to stand alone, applicable pa ba yung one-time payment ng name ng club or yung membership na lang?
Yes.
Actually, ayun po. Actually po, for the incoming term, still one-time payment pa rin po. For this year po, sa year po natin, life-changing, if we want to have the Rotary Club or to stand alone, magbabayad pa rin po siya ng $50. Pero take note po na by 2022-2023, lahat po ng members nila will be paying annual dues na, regardless po kung ilan sila or yun po. Basta po ngayon po hanggang June 30, 2022, lahat po ng mga Rotary clubs still have this one-time payment po, $50.
Yes po. Okay. Were you cleared, my DAG Mylene Taniedo, that whether a Rotary club is sponsored by a Rotary club or a standalone club, they still have to pay that one-time registration fee of $50 a year.
Yes.
Okay.
Are there any more questions from our fellow Rotarians? DGN Anna?
Last na lang po.
Yes,
Last
po.
na lang. Are the Rotaractors open for yung idea na, for example, we'll be having the discon or other Rotary function na kasabay na pero dedicated for Rotaract? What I meant by this is, ang mandated kasi ng RI, yung RILA. Okay, RILA. So for example, instead of you having a separate discon, sasabay kayo sa discon ng Rotarians, tapos dedicated yung particular portion a day or program for Rotaractors. For example, would also be the TRF. Since you'll be contributing later on to the TRF, para mas lalo nyo maintindihan on the TRF seminar, may particular topic doon intended for Rotaractors. Are you open to that kind of collaboration with Rotarians?
Yes po. Actually po, yun po talaga yung gusto rin po namin mangyari. Kasi po, it is also a joint activity, di ba po, na mas mapopromote po yung relationship between Rotaractors and Rotarians. And also, hindi na po mahihirapan din yung mga Rotaractors na malaman pa kung ano po yung Rotary. Dahil po, once na nakita po nila kung ano yung ginagawa ng Rotary, mas may encourage pa rin sila na mag-join sa Rotary Club. And actually po kaya lang naman po nakahiwalay din po talaga ang DISTAS or DPA po ng Rotaract. Dahil po mostly marami rin po tayong school base. Hinihintay po natin yung mga bagong president ng from the school base doon po. Kaya po nakahiwalay. And also, sa tingin ko po, para po talaga sa atin is mas maganda pong opportunity to. Unang-una po, at least may mas yung collaboration po ng Rotaractors ng mga Rotarians and Rotaractors mas mapag-uusapan po kung anong po mga dapat na topic and kung manggagaling po sa mga Rotaractors na gusto namin matuto or gusto namin ito po yung kailangan matutunan ng Rotaractors with the correct guidance po ng Rotarians, mas maganda nga po, mas better po yung joint activities ng DTA, DISCON with the Rotary and Rotaracts, as well as interactors po.
Okay, thank you so much, District Rotaract Representative-elect Felsen.
Yeah, VP Laura, can I share something?
Yes, Gov, acknowledge.
Yeah, okay. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, DRRE Filson. Actually, I really appreciate the effort of District Governor nominee for asking those questions kasi meron kaming usapan ni DRE Filson to really work together. Okay? Meron kaming arrangement ni DRRE to work together, especially for visiting clubs. Di ba? Meron tayong assessment na gagawin natin yung how we will encourage our clubs to, kumbaga mag-charter ng Rotaract and, bilangin talaga natin kung sino yung mga active members, di ba? Kasi ang problema natin, we very well know na magkakaroon tayo ng changes by the term of Governor Ann. Okay? So don't you worry, Governor Ann, ayusin namin ni DRRE Filson lahat yung mga pwedeng maayos para during your term, we will have a very smooth transition, di ba? From, an autonomous Rotaract, di ba, Filson? That's our commitment to DG and Ana, okay?
Yes po.
Okay, thank you, DG and Ana.
Thank you rin, Gov.
Okay.
Okay po, wala na po bang mga tanong kay DRRE? Okay, kung wala na po, again, I would like to say thank you, District Rotaract Representative-elect Filson Murillo. I'm pretty sure PP Susan is very proud of you.
Yes.
So may I now turn over the floor to our host club.
May we call on District Governor-elect Willie Sarafica for the vote of thanks.
Okay. On behalf of District 3790, the certificate of appreciation is presented to DRRE Filson Murillo for imparting his insights during its district training assembly this 15th day of May 2021. Signed, Willie Sarafica, District Governor 2021-2022. Thank you.
Thank you po, Gov.
Thank you.
Mm.
Good afternoon. I am past President Albert Atiwag of the Rotary Club of Baguio Summer Capital. Our next speaker to talk about Rotary Citation is a past president of the Rotary Club of Binmali Century District 3790. He is the Rotary Citation Chair for this year. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome past President Conrad Sarate.
First and foremost, we'd like to give thanks to our Almighty Lord for giving us this wonderful day in our lives as Rotarians. And secondly, I would like to greet also the past governors of the District 3790, our incumbent governor, Jess Sama, and of course our incoming governor, the person of Willie Serapica. I would like to extend also my greetings to all the current club presidents and the president-elect, as well as all the Rotarians of 3790. Today, or this afternoon, my task is to discuss about the Rotary citations. And before doing so, I would like to emphasize that this Rotary citation is, of course, a citation or a recognition of all the accomplishment of every club, noting into consideration that this is a reward given not only to the president, but this is an award. It is a recognition of your accomplishment or your accomplishment during the year of your administration. So this is a team effort. Your president cannot achieve or cannot be cited with this Rotary citation without the participation of all the club members. So therefore, this is a team effort. So what is a Rotary citation? A Rotary citation is your roadmap in the Rotary year. What do you mean by a roadmap in a Rotary year? That is like you are just only preparing a study, a feasibility study of what you are going to do for the incoming year of Rotary, which means that you will be listing all the goals that you would like to achieve during the year so that you can have the excellence in the service in your community, in the service of humanity, and above all, the service to our Almighty Lord. It is always be our guidance in every work that we do in the Rotary, which is about service above self. So to start with, what are the requirements or the criteria in order that you may qualify for this presidential citation? Of course, the first basic requirement to qualify is that your club should have been in outstanding status, meaning you have no obligation in your dues or any obligations of your club during during the current year, which might be on a semestral, but which will start on mid-January, and the second semester will be on mid-July. So that means that you don't have any obligation of any amount in order that your club will have to qualify under these citations. And to dig further, These goals in the Rotary citations is a digestion of what is our area of focus in the Rotary. Speaking of the area of focus, we have 7 area of focus. And this is being digested into several goals. And this is now our guide in the performance as your roadmap in the achieving or to qualify with the Rotary Club citation as mandated by Rotary International. So on our part, in our district administration has designed that there will be an independent body, an independent committee to oversee or monitor the performance or the achievement of every club, which will deal with the several goals. The Rotary International for year 21-22 has formulated 25 goals in in uh, in uh, in that particular in our particular year 21-22. However, these 25 goals are not to be imposed upon every club. The minimum requirement here is that for every club, in order to qualify for a presidential citation, is that they should have at least achieved more than 50% out of these 25 goals, which means that 12 plus 1 is equal to 13. And 13 goals is already more than 50% of the prescribed goals. So therefore, the minimum requirement that the club should have to achieve is only around 13. So out of this 25, I am going to mention to you one by one what are these 25 goals. So firstly, to achieve this citation, you should have to go to the Rotary Club Central and review the 25 goals, select at least 13 goals, achieve these goals, report achievements in the Rotary Club Central. So this is just like a pattern of making a report. You have your projection. Your projection is the 35 goals out of 25. And for every period of your Rotary year, you will have to check which goals has already been achieved. So that is just presenting a table on how you are going to achieve these goals. And number one of these goals is about your club membership. So what is the requirement on the club membership? The goal for club membership says that you will have to determine the total members that your club want to be in the end of the Rotary year. So you have to project how many members at the end of the year. Suppose that you have 30 members during the current year. So you will have to make or set a goal on how many members at the end of that Rotary year. Suppose that you are going to project a 10% increase, so that means at the end of the year, you have 33 members or an increase of 3 members. So that is one of the requirements. That is the first requirement, which is the club membership. That is the increase on club membership. So by that, you have already achieved one goal. That is, you have to increase your membership. But the requirement only here is that only one member increase is already a qualification to meet this club membership. But for you, you should have perhaps I may advise you to at least project at least 10% increase in your membership. So second goals is all about service participation. So what do you mean by service participation? This service participation is in regard to your club service project. So in a specific time or period during the year, you have your you have your projected project. And of course, your projected project might even be more than 5 or even 10 project. But this project should not only be attended by your president, or your officers. So you should have to project, you should have to determine the numbers that your club members or your Rotary or Rotarians in the club will have to join in this project. So make again another projection. Let's say you have 30 members in the club. You project how many projects that you're going to undertake, and you're going to determine the participation of every Rotarians in your club to join the service project. So that is the second goal of our presidential citation. Next is the new member sponsorship. So what is the new member sponsorship? This means that you have to determine the number of members that will sponsor a new club member during the Rotary year. So you have to determine also the number of sponsors. Supposing you have 3 members, new 3 members. So who are the sponsors of these true recruits in the club? So determine also who are the sponsors, because this will be one of the credits on the part of your club by sponsoring a new member by your Rotarians, the current Rotarians. Next is your membership. Fourth is the membership in the Rotary Action Group participation. So how many club members will be members of at least one Rotarian group? It says that at least one of your Rotarian must be a member of Rotarian Action Group for the Rotary year. And the fifth one is the leadership development participation. So, speaking of leadership development participation, this is again one of the goals that will be set in during the Rotary year. That is to determine how many club members will participate in leadership development program or activities during the year. One, especially we, the Rotarians, we are developing ourselves to be the leaders not only in the Rotary, but we are expected to do our share, our leadership, not also in the community. So we have our obligation. We are responsible to develop ourselves, as a leader. Next is the district conference attendance. So there are several district activities in our district. So you are also have to determine also the district events that you, as the club president, the officers, as well as the Rotarians or the members of the Rotary will have to attend in the district conference. So that is also one of the goals set by the Rotary International. The next is the Rotary Fellowship participation. How many club members will be of the Rotary Fellowship during the Rotary year? So that is again another goal, that is setting the number of club members that will join the Rotary Fellowship during the year. Next is the district training participation. How many of your club's committee chairs will attend the district assembly? So this is in regard to your participation in the district training participation. So usually, the attendance here must have been joined by the committee chairmans on the different area of focus. You should have to encourage these directors to join you, not only you as a president or your vice president or your secretary who will join this district conference attendance. All of you, especially the directors, should have to join this district conference. And that is one goal set by the Rotary International. Next is your annual fund contribution. So we are also mandated to share our contribution to the annual foundation fund. This is also being required to not only to the president but as well as to other Rotarians in our clubs. Next is the Polio Plus contribution. So one of the main projects of the Rotary International is the eradication of polio, not only in a chosen community, but the Rotary International is a main contributor with some of its members or stakeholders who are contributing also to the Rotary Foundation. And on our part, as a member of the Rotary Club, should have also make a share with this Polio Plus Fund. That is our contribution. Right now, I think there was a projection that every member should have to contribute at least $20 to this Polio Plan Fund contribution. Then next is the major gifts. So how many single outright donations of $10,000 or more will be made available by individuals associated with your club during the year? So this is a contribution. It is a contribution by an individual person, not only by a Rotarian, but of course an initiation by any Rotary member that any stakeholder or any interested person will donate at least $10,000 to the Rotary Foundation. Next is the Bequest Society members. So what is a Bequest Society members? How many individuals or couple were informed the Rotary Foundation of their plan to give 10,000 or more to the Rotary Foundation through their estate? So this is now in reference the bequest of the property, meaning if there is somebody in our Rotary, a family of Rotary or friends, and that they will be leaving an inheritance or an estate, and out of that bequest property, they might choose to share or contribute with the Rotary Club, and they will be properly recognized. And this is one of the goals set by the Rotary International in setting up your goals or to initiate a contribution from any descendant or an estate property to be contributed to the Rotary Foundation. Next is benefactors. So benefactors means these are also some individuals or a corporate that will also contribute to the Rotary Foundation. It might be an individuals or a couples, or it might even be on my part. It may even include some corporate entity that may even contribute to the foundations or to give at least 10,000 or more to the Rotary Foundation through their estate plans to include the endowment plan as well as the beneficiary, or will make an outright gift of 1,000 or more on the endowment plan. Next is the service project. The service project is one of the most difficult things that to be accomplished by a certain club, because the service project, as I observed in our club, this involves a lot of funds. You have to formulate your projection, your sources, your connections on how to develop a project, because you cannot make any project without the budget. So before doing so, the service project, as a new or an incoming officer or new administration in the formulation of this service project as mandated in our area of focus, we will have to make a plans based on the budget. So you work for the budget ahead before you are going to shoot. You have to make your connections, who are your contributors, who will share on the project, and that is the time that you could formulate your valuable projects in the community. But of course, during my term as a past president, this can easily be achieved at least if you have the leadership. You lead by example, you start doing so that all the others can continue, can share with you the resources to join the service project. And of course, next is the Rotary clubs. How many new and existing Rotary clubs will your club sponsor during the year? So this is a creation of your Rotary clubs. Do you already have a Rotary club in your Rotary, in your club? If not, this is also one of the points that will be considered as one of the goals of 25 goals in the Rotary. The same true also with the Interact clubs. The same criteria that you will have to do, the same objective, the same manner as you are going to create in your club. You create a Rotary club composed of youth members who will even become the future Rotary members of your club. These Rotary and Enter club are also very important in every club because these are I think that these are one of your contributors in your project because Rotary and Enter clubs are the most reliable individuals. They can exercise, they can easily be physically present in the service project, especially in the community project. Next is the inbound youth exchange students at the same time and outbound youth exchange students. Inbounds meaning hosting of an incoming foreigner to your club. And an outbound youth exchange students, these are the students coming from our club, coming from our country, going out of the country or entering other clubs outside of the Philippines. But of course, during this time, during the pandemic, it seems that we cannot realize this is the adoable goals right now because of some restrictions in this pandemic status. So you might not consider these goals. It is the inbound and the outbound youth exchange students. Next is your RILA participation. How many individuals will your club sponsor to participate in your Rotary Leadership Award events during the Rotary year? So speaking of this RILA participation, this is a participation by any of the Rotaract or Interact members. So what the club will do, or any members of the club, is to make a sponsorship of these members to join these RILA events. This is the Rotary Leadership Award. And every year, in a Rotary year, there is this Rotary events to develop the leadership of every members of the Rotaract as well as the Interact to develop themselves as a future leader, not only in their youth, but as a future leaders of the Rotary Club. Next goal is the strategic plan. Each your club has these strategic plans. It is an up-to-date strategic plan. What is all about this strategic plan? By the word itself, strategic plans means it is a plan designed by your club not only on the current year. Kung sinabi natin strategic plan, it is a plan by your club ahead of your current year. It is a projection. It is a plan that may only not cover 1 year. you may even formulate an strategic plan for a medium plan, which might be a 5 years strategic plan. So this will involve not only the current administration, but this strategic plan will have to be planned, or you may even create an independent or a separate committee that will make a strategic plan for at least a minimum of 5 years on what is the future. Ano ang mangyayari sa iyong Rotary Club for the next 5 years? So this is what we call an strategic plan encompassing all your actions based on the service or area, not only the service, but the 7 area of focus. Your strategic plan should be patterned with the 7 area of focus so that you have a continuing program, not only on the current year. Because if you are going a plan, you are going to make a plan for only 1 year, there might be no continuity of the plan being designed on the first year. So I now encourage each club to make a strategic plan. That is by creation of a certain committee to oversee, to develop this strategic plan for every club in the district. Next is the online presence. What do we mean by online presence? Does your club has an online presence accurately reflect its current activities? Meaning, when we say online presence, this is your presence. This is your attendance, not only physically, but it is your attendance. It is your contribution. It is your share, a share of time, of your effort, even without your physical presence in any activities, in the regular, in the special session, club activities. So this is one of the goals in the Rotary citation. That is, you have to contribute yourself in an online person, most especially during this time of pandemic. Using your cell phone, using your laptop, or using your gadget, or using any electronic gadget to share with you your inputs, your presence in your cloud. Next is the update, website, and social media. So this is in reference against to the presence, the contributions, that is during the Rotary here, you have to determine how many times per month will your club website or social media accounts be updated. I have observed that many club of the members has upgraded their website. Nagkakaroon po they are making a communication by way of chatting each other, delivering a message, delivering any information to all the members within the club by means of this website. So, wala po tayo masyadong hirap dito because this has been observed right now by every member of the Rotary in our club. Next is the major stories about club project. How many major stories will cover your club project during the year? So again, when we say club project, this pertains to your accomplishment of project. How hard is being disseminated? Before you are going to undertake a project, you should have to disseminate this with your members that this is a project that will be undertaken during the month or to a certain period. And then you have to report also to each and every member of what is the accomplishment. What are the contributions? What have you accomplished during the year or during that period of your project? And next is the use of Rotary promotional materials. Did your club use Rotary International advertising and public service materials, such as broadcast videos, print ads, and other official materials available in Brand Center to promote Rotary in your community during Rotary year? So this is now one of the goals that will give you the idea on how you are going to inform not only the Rotary International, but you can also make use of some other materials available in your club, in our district. We have our print media, we also have our broadcast media, or you can even use your community media, either by print or by radio or by television, covering that project that you have undertaken. So, with that regard, so as your chairman for the presidential station, I beg for your indulgence, and of course, I would like to make some apology if there are some shortcut or you might have been not satisfied for my presentation, considering that this is only my 4th year in the Rotary. I still consider myself as a neophyte in the district officers. So, but of course, I would like to thank our incoming governor for giving me this opportunity to share with you the inputs as well as the goals, the citation, and instructions in order to qualify for the Rotary Presidential Citation given by the Rotary International. But lastly, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be with me to deliver my presentations. And thank you, and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Past President Conrad Zarate from the Rotary Club of Binmali Century. It was a good discussion about the Rotary citation. So Rotary clubs that achieve the goals listed in the citation brochure by the end of the Rotary year will earn a citation. All activities need to be completed, reported, and reflected in the Rotary database by the 30th of June. So to be eligible for the Rotary citation, clubs need to begin the year as active clubs that are in good standing and will remain to be in good standing throughout the year. So now I think Past President Conrad is ready to take your questions. Are there questions from our audience? Okay, I think we have one. President Ulik Ahon. No question can be. Sir Conrad Zarate is not online. No question and answer can be done. Sorry for that. So I think we'll just have to turn over the line to our host club. We have a message on our chat box that Sir Conrad, or I mean Past President Conrad.
Good afternoon, PP Laura. My apologies, but Sir Conrad Zarate was cut off from the internet just a while back. So he's communicating that he might not be able to do the Q&A. So with that, may we call on District Governor-elect.
Natapos naman yun. Nawala ba siya sa inyo? Natapos niya. Sa akin ha.
Naka-open na po yung Pipi Laura.
Yes po.
Open na po si Pipi Conrad.
Online na siya?
Yes, using Yolanda.
Okay. Oh, natapos niya. Narinig ko natapos naman niya yung speech niya. So, do we have questions from our audience?
Yes. May I ask a question, please?
President Melvin from the Rotary Club of Lingayen.
BP Conrad, good afternoon.
Yes.
It looks like It looks like you are full of enthusiasm and energy in your presentation. It looks
I'm
like
just only
you.
inspired by our meetings before,
It looks like
especially at the resident journal.
it looks like you have just disinfected your hands and your throat with alcohol. My question is, what are the possible awards to the members so they would be, shall I say, motivated to really participate in all the activities at the year end of the club administration? What are the possible awards that must be given to the members and
On my
officers of the club?
presentation, Brother Melvin, with my
Yes.
presentation, I'm just only concentrating on the single award, which is the citation goals. And there are several awards. Like for instance, there are several awards on different areas of focus. With that, in as much as there are already 7 area of focus, so there are already 7 awards that will be given, and there are other some award, like for instance, the leadership award, and other awards.
Do those awards include discount at the Regency Hotel?
Past President Melvin, Past President Conrad, if I may add, po, yung Rotary citation po, should clubs qualify, ang nagre-recognize po sa kanila is the Rotary International.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Criteria for that is the payment of membership dues po, RI dues, for 2 semesters. From there po, yun, na-recognize po, and then RI po ang magbibigay. You can monitor this online po if your club has received or achieved the Rotary citation.
Oh yes, I get it po, AG. Kaya lang yung tanong ko kay PP Conrad, yung award naman sa mga individual members who perform with outstanding performance, excellent participation, enthusiasm, and so on and so forth.
Actually, Past President Milvi, what we are discussing today in DTA are the criteria pagdating po sa term ni Governor Willie. Although, yung may mga awards po, if you're interested po, if you're concerned with it, sa term po ni Governor Jess Sama, Outstanding President, Outstanding Club, Outstanding Rotarian, Rotarian of the Year, and then sa kada area of focus po, may mga awards po yon. And then may mga qualifications po. May mga criteria po yan na nirelease po ng ating assistant governors.
I see. Thank
Para
you.
I know, nasa stage po sila ng deliberation for the year end.
Thank you so much for the info, AG. I can see my classmate Yoli and PP Mar side by side with PP Conrad.
Hello po,
Okay.
good afternoon po.
Okay. So thank you so much for that. Okay. It's more on the district and the RI awards. Yeah. Okay. Thank
We
you.
also have one question here for President Conrad. Ito po yung question. Hello po, just want to add, since it is also included in Rotary citation about sponsoring a Rotaract/Interact club to encourage every Rotary club to sponsor not only for compliance, but to sponsor a club so we can train them to be future Rotary members.
With regard to the creation of Rotaract, it is also one of the goals set by the RI. And of course, the Rotary Club will have to, they are mandated to at least sponsor the creation of Rotaract, or the other one is the Interact Club.
Okay, noted po. DRRE Fielson, did that answer your question?
Hello po, PP Laura. This is for the information kasi po to encourage the Rotary clubs to sponsor Rotaract and Interact clubs, hindi po para sa compliance lang to attain this Rotary citation. So to encourage the Rotary clubs who sponsor Rotaract Interact clubs so we can train them to become the future Rotary. Kasi po, marami pong sayang po talaga, especially the Rotaract clubs, before $50 po di ba yung one-time payment. And yung ibang clubs is na-terminate lang po sila dahil hindi po na-update ni Rotary si Rotaract Club information sa Rotary website. Dahil po siguro nagtayo lang po ng Rotaract Club for the compliance or para po magkaroon po sila ng check sa Rotary citation dahil nag-sponsor po sila ng Rotaract Club. So what I want to encourage, or yun po yung napag-usapan din po namin ni DGE Willie, is to have a Rotaract Club so we can be in help po sa Rotary Club. Ayun po.
Noted on that, RRA Kelson.
The sponsorship and creation of Rotaract is a big help on the part of the Rotary Club, because Rotary Club is the future of the Rotaract is the future of the Rotary. We are developing leaders from the Rotaract, and eventually they will be forming part of the Rotary Club. So that is one of the direction of having that Rotaract Club or an Interact Club.
PP Conrad, hello.
Yes.
It looks like DRRA is talking about on the motive on coming up with a Rotaract Club, whether it's for compliance, for award, or for its support and a future for the future of the club, as they will be upcoming members and that as soon as they graduate from their college courses and they land a job or have a business, most likely they would be the future members and the future president. But AG Laura had made me the future past president. AG. Pass na yung address mo sa akin, AG. Parang tapos na rin yung term ko agad.
Sorry, I stand corrected po. Kay PP Conrad.
I'm just pointing out that I'm intensely listening. I'm attentive.
For Past President Conrad.
Thank you so much, bro.
Are there any more questions po for Past President Conrad regarding Rotary citation? Should there be none, may I now turn over the floor to our host club. Hello, Summer Capital.
We call on District Governor-elect Willie Serafica for the vote of thanks.
Okay. Yeah, on behalf of District 3790, the certificate of appreciation is presented to Past President Conrado Zarate for imparting his insights during its District Training Assembly this 15th day of May 2021. Signed, Willie Serafica, District Governor 2021-2022. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, we're waiting for your go.
See you later. I'll be there. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye po for now.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Maraming salamat po. Chief Anton, thank you.
Anong meeting room? Anong meeting room ang closing?
Same ano po, Gov. Same as yung plenary.
Okay.
Ha? Yung 5? Yung 5?
Yes po. Yes po.
So, balik tayo sa 5.
Yes po, Gov.